Today's C31 Sport live broadcast of the 2015 Division 1 Essendon District Football League Grand Final is proudly brought to you by the Strathmore Community Bank, 337 Napier Street, Strathmore, and CS&G Signs, 37 Sages Road, Glenroy.
Hello and welcome to Windy Hill, Essendon for today's live telecast of the Essendon District Football League Division 1 Grand Final. Our apologies for a little bit of loss of audio earlier, but very exciting day here. I'm Daryl Pittman, and it's welcome to Ian Benny Bennett.
Yeah, g'day Daryl, and welcome the viewers out here to Windy Hill. Great place for local footy. In fact, it's living up to its name. It's pretty windy at the present time, but all the same, nice crowd in, and we're looking forward to a great game of footy.
Big expectations today. These two sides played 2 weeks ago. Doutta Stars victorious on that occasion. Craigieburn out for revenge. They're after their first grand final since the early 1990s. And we just see out there at the moment too the Taylor's Lakes Reserves celebrating because they won the Reserves Premiership by just 4 points in a thriller. We've had two great lead-up games. Let's hope the senior game is much the same.
Yeah, well, the under-19s was less than a kick in that. Doutta Stars came away with the cup on that occasion, so it's been a good day so far, and let's hope that it continues in that vein.
Well, as you say, a little bit windy, but our man out in the middle is the one and only Kev Murphy. Let's cross down to Kev.
Yeah, thanks, boys. You're right, it is very windy down here. A very apt name this afternoon, Windy Hill. Of course, the wind is blowing down to the Napier Street end of the ground, and it's probably about a 3 or 4 goal wind today, so you can expect a lot of action to occur down that end of the ground. The crowd is building here. We've had a great atmosphere in the reserves and the under-19s game, so hopefully that atmosphere will transfer into the senior game, expecting a fantastic clash between two great teams here in the Essendon District Footy League. And I'll be able to catch up with a few special guests this afternoon and bring you a bit of colour and action from around the ground in today's broadcast. Back to you, fellas.
Thanks very much, Kev. Kev out there amongst it.
He's going to have his work cut out there, I'd reckon.
Amongst all of his fans.
Yeah, he's got them all there.
Well, of course, some big names in the game today too, Benny, including the Cloak Boys.
Well, I guess they're the biggest names, aren't they, really? Both Jason and Cameron playing together for the first time for the season as a team. They played back in Park Orchards in the juniors together when Cameron came up a couple of years to play with his brother, Jason. But other than that, they got together in the twilight of their careers to play footy with each other, and they picked Craigieburn to do it.
Well, as we say, the action coming to you live today from C31, and next Saturday also. We better tell all of our viewers that right now. The big Premier Division Grand Final, that will be a beauty between Aberfeldy and Greenvale.
Yeah, well, 2 weeks ago in the second semi, Greenvale got walloped, didn't they, in the end? But I tell you what, they came back well yesterday, kicking 18 goals and putting Keilor out of the race for the grand final. So it was a good game of footy for them, and they're into the grand final. It should be a ripper.
The Abbas looking for their first flag for something like 41 years, so tune in next Saturday.
It's a long time between drinks, isn't it?
It certainly is. So they've lost a couple of close ones in recent years. They reckon it's their turn. We'll soon find out next Saturday. But back to the action here, and as we say, the crowd building now. Presentations have just finished with the reserves game. The action will get underway soon, and all of the colour, the national anthem and the teams running through the banners. It's what you play footy for, isn't it?
It sure is. It's exactly what we play footy for. So can't wait for the action to start.
Okay, and we'll be back with more of it very shortly. And back here at Windy Hill for the Division 1 Grand Final in the Essendon District Football League. And for viewers that don't know much about the EDFL, Benny, they've had a lot of very, very high-profile players coming back from the AFL and playing here in recent years.
They have done that, and they've also got 3 divisions of football being played in the Essendon District Footy League. Yesterday was Hadfield up against Jakarta, and Hadfield won that grand final in their what they call the Division 2, and today's the Division 1 Premier next week.
That's right, looking forward to that. But the president of the Essendon District Football League is Brett Scott. He's down there now with Kev.
Yes, thanks, boys. I've got the president of the Essendon District Footy League down here, Brett Scott. Now, Brett, pretty big build-up to today's game. The atmosphere in the two previous games has been terrific.
Yeah, look, we had a couple of close ones to start the day off. The early game, the under-18s, only a couple of kicks in, a fantastic spectacle in the game that just finished 4 points. So it's really building momentum, and the atmosphere is growing for a much-anticipated clash here this afternoon.
The first Metropolitan Football Grand Final to be covered live on TV in Melbourne and Geelong. You guys must be pretty excited about that.
Oh yeah, look, and I'm a bit of a dinosaur. I remember the old VFA days and used to pack the suburbs out, and to me it's a bit of a return to that. But no, look, we're wrapped to be part of the live telecast back into the lounge room of local football.
And of course you had a big day yesterday with your Division 2 Grand Final, and you've got another big day coming up next week, which we're broadcasting live, the Premier Division Grand Final. You'll be looking forward to that one as well.
Yeah, definitely. Just whether Aberfeldy can finally shake it. Greenvale, they're into the Grand Final. They can got the ability to upset the raging hot favourites, but looking forward to a big one.
Well, you've got a big day, so I'll let you get back to it. Thanks for joining us, Brett.
No worries, thank you. Good luck.
Thanks, Kev. Kev working hard down there, and the Craigieburn team has just entered the arena through the banner, and well, they'd be hoping that they can reverse their game from 2 weeks ago. Doutta Stars out there, and I tell you what, there are some stars in the Doutta Stars lineup too.
Well, that's right, Cade Carey, the cousin, the nephew of the great Wayne Carey. Hope he plays just as well. We'll be looking forward to seeing him. In fact, I know he does. He takes a good, strong mark, and we look forward to seeing him play.
And James Barnes, son of John Barnes.
Yeah, well, apparently he's up and coming, and we're looking forward to watching him play, because if he's anywhere near as good as John Barnes, then he'll be a ripper.
So there we see the Doutta Stars players going through their warm-ups, and good crowd in today, Benny, but probably it's going to be twice as big next Saturday too, as you get to the top division.
Yeah, that top division, they pack this ground. The stands will rock next week, but we've only got today, and it'll make plenty of noise here, for sure.
It does jump around, no doubt about that. Of course, a lot of great footy played here over the years, including players like the great Dick Reynolds, John Coleman, you name them.
That's a dinosaur era.
Well, they still wore the red and black and trod this sacred turf right out here where these players will go through their hoops this afternoon. We were going through some of the players to look for. From the Craigieburn side of things, Josh Young, who's back into the side, and they are really hoping that this fella's going to make a difference.
Well, he was out suspended in the last game, and that's probably made a bit of a difference. And you're right. They're so looking forward to having him in the team. He's one of their leaders. He's one of their ball magnets, and they need to get the ball up forward quickly so that the two Cameron boys, both Jason and Cameron Cloak, can take the big strong marks, and that's what they'll be looking for. Big grounds like this will suit them.
How important are the Cloak boys firing today to Craigieburn's premiership chance?
Oh, you'd have to say just about spot on, wouldn't you? I mean, that's why they recruited these guys, but they will kick goals for sure. I mean, at the present time, Cameron Cloak has kicked 79 goals for the season, and his brother Jason has kicked 51. So, you know, they're in the top 3 goal kickers in the league, so you'd reckon that they'd be very important for today's outcome.
Well, of course, a big shout out to the Strathmore Community Bank too, who's made today possible, and we are really excited by the prospect of a live telecast.
Well, Kev down there, he's got Dean Wallace, the coach of the Doutta Stars. Over to you, Kev.
Yeah, thanks, boys. Dean, very windy conditions today. How does it affect your setup and your game plan going into today's game?
No, nothing at all, really. It's what you get dealt, and whether it's raining, windy, or a great day, we just go and play footy.
What are your expectations today? What type of game do you expect both sides will play?
Physical. That's the card they've dished up to us, the 3 occasions we've played them. We've just got to fight fire with fire, and hopefully we get the result.
What's going to be the key to today's game for both sides? Is it the contested ball early? Is it how you use the conditions? Is there a particular theme you're looking for from your boys today?
I think just go and play footy and put your head over the ball. The umpires will reward you in that. It's been around for 100 years. The old cliche, you know, first in, get the footy, umpires take care of it. So hopefully that's the way they umpire the game today. That's what we've instructed our boys to do, go and enjoy the big occasion. Dudes haven't been to finals or grand final for a long time, so it's a big day for the club.
Well, Windy Hill is a special place for you. Let's hope it remains that way after today.
Thank you. Cheers.
Kev there with Dean Wallace, and we'll also be catching up with the Craigieburn coach, Peter Bugden, a little later on in the day. But a bit overcast here at the moment too. Lots of seagulls and lots of people out on the ground. But we get around to a lot of different leagues, Benny, and it's great seeing the different culture in the different leagues. The EDFL has its very own culture.
Yes, they do, and I think that one of the aspects of that is that they're just so serious about their footy. And not that other leagues aren't serious, but they are really honed in on their local homegrown product. And you can't blame them for that. They've attracted ex-league footballers to come and play in their competition. And, you know, both teams here want to be up in the Premier Division next year. That's what it's all about, getting to be the best you possibly can be.
And it attracts coaches like Dean Wallace, coaches like Mick McGuan, Digby Morrell. A lot of high-profile people have come back from the highest level and coach here in the Essendon District Football League. So they're pretty proud of their brand of football and their standing in the local football community. As the umpires make their way out onto the ground, tell us a little bit about the umps, Benny.
Well, the three of them are Daniel Patrick. He's the guy with the red hair, and Michael McGuinness. We've seen Michael in other grand finals here. He's a well-credentialed umpire in the Essendon District Football League, and Adam Hunishan's the other field umpire. Now, his dad, Graham, umpired league footy. He's a boundary umpire, but a terrific boundary umpire, and it's good to see father like son coming back into umpiring. So that's the three field umpires, and they're the ones that we have to be concerned with.
My word, good luck to them as well as all of the players on the biggest day of the year for them. Kev Murphy's out in the middle, right near the umpies. Down to you, Kev.
Yes, I'm down here with the umpies, boys, and they're just lining up for their photo at the moment. Obviously, it's a special day to play in a grand final as a player, but it's also a special occasion when you're an umpire too. And Benny could attest to that, no doubt, whether you're a goalie or on the boundary or a fieldy, although I must say there's a lot more umpires these days than there certainly was in my day. But I tell you what, getting down, feeling the wind down here, it certainly is pretty brisk. I might just ask the umpires to come across. And Michael, congratulations on your grand final appointment. The players are nervous. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it was a bit of nerves before the game as well, but once first ball's bounced, we'll be out there just to do our job.
The players and the clubs have got a big preparation leading into today. What about you guys? Is it a different sort of week for the umpires?
Look, same old, I guess. You know, it starts from, training Tuesday night, Thursday night. It's where we got our grand finals, and then I was down here yesterday watching the boys do a pretty good performance there as well. So it's a bit of luck we can do the same thing today.
And what's it like this ground when the crowd gets up? Can you hear them? Can you hear the comments that you'll be getting from the sidelines in a grand final more than ever?
Oh, you can, but it adds to the day. It's awesome. I love it. It's really good.
Well, congratulations on your appointment. Good luck today. Obviously, may the best team win, but let's hope you guys have a good day as well. Thanks, Michael. Back to you, boys.
And we'll be back with all of the action shortly from Windy Hill. Welcome back to Windy Hill, and I tell you what, the game hasn't started yet, Benny, and the boys in the far stand have already fired up.
Is that right? You've been watching them in the ad break.
They're starting to practice their chants, so it could get very loud later on in the day.
I was watching out there in the Craigieburn huddle, and those two little kids, one with number 5 and the number 2 on their jumpers. Isn't that sensational for them, to be able to run out, be with the big kids?
Lots of little kids in their dad's numbers or uncle's numbers or whatever it is. That's what local footy's all about, and days like this really bring it to the fore. It's not AFL footy, but it's community football, and that's what it's all about, local community.
You can remember so many years ago when you ran out as a mascot.
Mascot, yeah, a few years ago now, didn't it?
It's still stuck in your head, though.
It does, it does, and it's great. Aussie rules footy's a great game. Teams lining up out there now, and of course the national anthem will be played. Standing behind the Strathmore Community Bank and the EDFL logos. Very colourful scene here at Windy Hill. And we're going to get a rendition right now of the national anthem. So let's stand by for that. Okay, here we go with the national anthem.
By sea, our land
Tell him I've dropped out again.
Well, maybe the nerves are starting to settle now, Benny.
Yeah, maybe so. That was a nice rendition all the same. And the umpire Michael McGuinness there, he's in charge of the toss, both captains.
And Doutta Stars have won the toss.
Yeah, Shiloh Smith is the captain, winning the toss and kicking with the breeze to start with. That's a good idea.
And yes, because it's pretty up and about at the moment, the breeze, so good first quarter can set you up very well and put the other team under the pump. Big number 6 there in the middle of the picture, of course, is Cameron Cloak. He's a big boy. As officials make their way off the ground, and all that's left of the combatants and the umpires for the 2015 Division 1 Grand Final.
So they're all just starting to take their positions now and see which players are off on the bench to start with. Daniel Nolan for Craigieburn is going to the bench, along with Reece Finch. Also Sam Laffin. Well, I reckon it'll be a rugged opening.
Yes, well, the opening moments of the grand final are always a bit lively, and as I say, as the nerves settle, both sides striving for the ultimate glory. So the tension builds. Just waiting for that first bounce. Crowd in anticipation. And we're away in the EDFL Division 1 Grand Final for 2015. Umpire Michael McGuinness taking plenty of time. Daniel Patrick it was. And well, the nerves got the better of him because it was a bit of an ordinary bounce.
And the crowd's giving it to him.
So Daniel Patrick throws the ball in the air again, and we are away as they come out of the middle. Chance here now. It went past Justin Maul there on that occasion. Grabbing it was Anderson. Anderson goes long in towards goals. Did they get a touch to that? I don't think so. Goal in the first 10 seconds for Doutta Stars.
Oh, they're getting around them too. They're up and about. Exactly how you would like to start the grand final. Goal on the board straight away. Craigieburn hit to touch the footy.
Yeah, great start to them. That's a dream start, no doubt about that.
Chance are already starting.
So the ball back in the centre.
So we're just waiting now. Adam Hutchinson throws the ball up and Doutta Stars again in front. Shiloh Smith in front for the footy. And the ball will be balled up.
So just forward of the centre square, Craigieburn's way. Doutta Stars getting that vital first goal. Could have been holding the man. That's the way the umpire has seen it. It'll go Doutta Stars' way on the defensive side of the centre square, and they'll head over to the grandstand side of the ground. Up they go. Nearly a mark taken there by Jensen. Yes, the umpire said you held on to it long enough, Mitch. Got the hand pass off. Came over here to Natalianis. He handballed it back, but it was errant in the end. Matt Thomas sharked it. Kicks high up towards the centre wing.
But it went to nobody in particular. Stars are back on it. Doutta kicked the ball back towards that wing position. Punch from behind. Ball's across the boundary line. Good contest, and the umpire says throw it in. So we've been going only 2 minutes into the first quarter.
In it comes. Half-forward flank here for Doutta Stars. They've got their first goal on the board. Heenan tried to crash his way through. Lost it. Spilled over here to where Thomas can't retrieve it before it goes over and out for another throw-in. And they're deliberate, is it? Is that what they've said, or did someone do something there that I missed?
I missed it. I was looking in the other direction.
So Shiloh Smith, the skipper for Doutta Stars, to take the resultant free kick. Kicks long. Up to a contest. They set themselves good, strong mark. Making their intentions shown early, and Aaron Kite took a beauty.
Well, he's one of the leading goal kickers for Doutta Stars, has 37 on the board to date this season. So you'd reckon he'd make the distance with the Bruce behind him. Whether he can combat the wind is another matter. In he comes.
Great camera shot here.
Aaron Kite. Oh, he shanks it a little bit into the tooth of goal. They punch from behind, and it's across the boundary line for a throw-in.
So the jumping castle in the background for the kids there. Local footy's a family affair these days, no doubt about that. Forward pocket here for Doutta Stars. They leap high, bit of volleyball. Craigieburn defence under pressure. Chance there for Davies. Kicks long to the centre wing. It'll bounce over the line and out safely.
So just waiting for the boundary umpire. They get into position. Nice spread around the ground at the present time. They are playing position. Footy as the ball is thrown back into play. The ball goes to the front of the pack. The boundary line looms again. So it'll be another throw-in over there on that outer side. The bowling club side. I've always wanted to say that, Tex.
Yeah, one of the things about the Windy Hill ground, of course, there's not much crowd on that side of the ground because it's all sort of closed off dead side. But that makes it for a bigger crowd on this side of the ground, and they'll find their voice throughout this game, that's for sure. Doutta Stars, succession of hand passes. Be careful they don't mess it up, but they come out with it again. Kicks in towards half forward. They work it towards the line, and it's over and out. More work for the boundary umpire.
Too right. 4 minutes gone of the first quarter. It's Doutta Stars 1 goal, 6. Craigieburn yet to score as the ball's thrown back into play, and a lot of players around the footy. Umpire McGuinness blows the whistle and says, I'll ball it up once more. They're about 70 metres out from Doutta Stars' goal. Ball's thrown up.
Anyone's footy here at the moment. Whistle on play, it's going Doutta Stars' way, is it?
Advantage paid.
In towards the forward line it goes, unable to take the mark down there. Hits the deck. Once again, they hug the boundary line and it's over and out for another throw-in. About 40 metres around from Doutta Stars' goal.
That old windsock's gone too, the one that had Ansett on it.
That's right. Ansett's gone.
And the ball thrown back into play. This time it was Jeremy Pates that got the tap out. He was uncontested. Now it's back towards that centre of the ground position. Knocked back over the top. In and underneath the football there they go. Craigieburn, chance for Brett Gordon. Spun out of trouble, gave it to a teammate who couldn't pick it up. In the end he did. Makatic gets the ball forward and Cloak finds it.
Jason Cloak now gets on with it straight away. He's got a lead from his brother. Couldn't get to the footy though. Lurking was Josh Young. Couldn't take it. Spilt to Makatic. Held without it. They work it towards the line. Snapping towards goal. That was innovative. Point only in the end.
Yeah, he's an excitement machine, Josh Young. Tried to make something out of nothing there. So that's the first time they've got the ball right into their forward area, Craigieburn. So now it's going to come out to the stand side. Good pass on that occasion, finds Anthony Pressia. He's going to play on straight away with a long raking drop punt. He's looking there for Barnes, couldn't take the mark, comes to the ground. Craigieburn in first. Thomas, he cops it high and has paid the free kick.
Earned that one the hard way, did Matty Thomas. So, Thomas for the Burners. Hugs the boundary line, bounces in between two of them. Peter Natalia says, I'll just tap that over. Thanks, we'll have a throw in.
6.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. As the ruckman take the position, big Cloak gets to the front position. Cameron that was, but it's taken away and kicked along by Scribberus. But it wasn't, didn't go too far. It was held up there. Here's a free kick.
He held without it.
There's plenty going on. Cameron Cloak dishing it out.
Have a look at the size of them.
Yeah.
He's taking a big Cameron Cloak on.
Yeah. Except at the present time, he's winning. Now, it'll be interesting to see what the umpires do here.
This is the old World Championship Wrestling days.
Yeah. So
the acting that's going on, I mean.
Umpire McGuinness is going back to the amended mark. Umpire Daniel Patrick is going to just organise them and settle them down.
Calvarisi boots it long in towards half forward. Big fist away. Here's a chance. Anderson after it. The danger man comes inboard. 2 against 1 here. No mark taken. Play on, yells the umpire. Trying to crash his way through was Caruso.
Got a high tackle and
advantage. Got the ball out.
And the long kick now to half forward. Cloak boys are there. And dropping in front was Cameron Cloak, has taken the mark or push. So he's got possession of the footy and a 50, so he could end up with another goal here.
Well, I tell you what, plenty of experience there in the...
There's a bloke down behind play too.
There's a player
just gone past him.
Cloak's just running past him now. He looked in a bit of pain. Cloak just walks past him. He's down in the goal square and kicks the goal. Well, it's all happening, as one of those great cricket commentators once said.
Well, Craigieburn now hit the front because they're 1-1-7. Doutta Stars, one goal straight.
Yes, well, you've got to watch when you mess with the experience of someone like Cameron Cloak. They know how to draw a free kick and make the most of a situation. That's exactly what happened there.
So, I guess both teams have settled down. They've lost the footy. It's out in the schoolyard. Essendon State School.
You spent 3 years there in grade 4, didn't you?
I did.
Up it goes in the middle. Tap down. Chance here for Doutta Stars. Could have been a high tackle. Umpire on the spot. They're on the ball so far. Jamie Gorgievski will take the free kick for Doutta Stars, right from the centre circle, as you can see there. And look at that for a roost. Aided by the breeze. Bounces past them. They tap it over, looking for the running small man. Couldn't bring it in. It's over and out.
I reckon we'll have a fair few throw-ins on that side today. Breeze is just taking it across there. Comes in now. They wrestle for that front position. Nobody got a decisive knock out of it. It's out the back of the pack. Chance for Doutta Stars here. But Craigieburn working well in defence. Hand pass came out from Josh Young. But they sharked away and Doutta Stars right into attack again. Oh, clever work off the ground though. Through from behind. Gee, I was just praising the defence of Craigieburn, and Douta's made something out of nothing there.
Cade Carey there nearly pulled off a miraculous goal. So, scores locked up, 1-1-7 apiece. We've been playing just over 10 minutes in this first quarter of the 2015 Division 1 Grand Final in the EDFL. Good-looking kick, but it's all Doutta Stars over there. I tell you what, their big men are standing up well at the moment.
They sure are, and making a fair difference. Is that Georgievski? His kick goes into half forward, bounces awkwardly, but good work there. They've kept it in, Douta's. A shot around the body, sees it through from behind. So they're just trying to get something happening here, Doutta Stars. Just offline a little. They hit the lead, 1-2-8 to 1-1-7.
How many goals is the Breeze worth? Is it favouring that end by a lot? If so, you'd say Craigieburn are doing a good job.
Kev said there was 3 goals at least in it.
Well, there you go. There's the good kick out. Oh, good grab over the back there by big Jeremy Page. Did it well for the Burners. Fed off the hand pass. Put his teammate under a bit of pressure. That'll put Gordon under pressure, but he screws it back nicely. Coming out was Cloak. Jason Cloak took the mark. Fed off the hand pass. They've got some run going now. Caruso in towards the half-forward line. Kick off the ground by the Doutta Stars is fortunate because it lands on Sean Ross's chest.
He's going to play on straight away, but it's over the top of the intended target in Georgievski. Getting back on the footy there's Aaron Kite, but he's been shoved out of the way. It is Gribris that got hold of the footy. Long kick forward. No mark there. Play on, says the umpire. Was it held? No. Cade Carey's are still after the footy. The ball to the boundary line for a throw-in. So only about 15 metres around from the goals.
8 plays 7. 12 minutes gone, first term. Danger zone here. Round the body off the boot of Aaron Kite. Said thank you very much. He gets the Stars second.
Proud sponsors of the 2015 EDFL Final Series, CS&G Signs are industry leaders in high-quality signage for businesses large and small, providing a winning solution from conception to installation. Call CS&G Signs or visit csng.com.au.
Back to the action. It's a 2-2-14 to 1-1-7. Craigieburn this time into attack. Wobbly one into half forward. Cloak was the intended target, but Doutta Stars up to it. They bring it out. Oh, there should have been a mark. It was dropped by Brendan George. Craigieburn Thomas gets the ball forward. Young takes the mark. Taken to the ground. It'll be a 50. And you go to the teeth of goals. So the pressure on them.
Well, that was a popular one with the Craigieburn crowd. Correct decision.
But all the same, at this stage, Josh Young is just taking plenty of time in getting to his position. He's got it. You can see how close he is to goal.
Young skips in, threads it through. Craigieburn get their second. Well, that would be the start they'd be looking for, Craigieburn, to match it with Doutta Stars, who've chosen to kick with a breeze.
Yeah, they're taking every opportunity. The big Cloak boys up forward, they're making a big path forward as they crash the packs as they come out, making it a little easier for those smaller players up forward. Back in the centre.
Two big men go at it, jumping early there was Gorgevsky, was Barnes at least. Now they're away, the Stars. Little chip inboard from the skipper, Smith, marking it right on the 50 there. And another attacking move. High kick from Anderson. Sets it up. Floats to the left. Another point.
So they got a 2-point margin at the present time. 2-3-15 to 2-1-13. Need to retrieve the ball from back there. Craigieburn to bring the ball back into play. Don't know which is the attacking side, which way they'll go. Straight down the centre, but up they go. No mark taken there. Doutta Stars. Smith gets the hand pass across. Aaron Kite's kick high and long into the forward pocket.
They set themselves. No mark taken. Battle for the footy. Ball yells the crowd. Give it to me, says the umpire. It's only about 15 metres out from goal here.
Up they go in a little tap by Page. Saw it in McLaren's hands. They're going to go wide through Heenan out there, but there's a free kick. It's going back. And Craigieburn will win the free kick. So from virtually the full-back position, Craigieburn looking to see where the players are going to run to. And then kick out wide towards that centre wing position. Up in they go. Hand pass comes out. Here come Douta's long kick at the goals. He's put it through.
He knew straight away too.
Is that Blair Cronin? I think it was.
Think so, and he sprints off after kicking the goal AFL style. So a good goal there to Cronin. Doutta Stars move along now with that third goal to 3-3-21. Craigieburn 2-1-13.
Back with umpire Hunnison in the centre. He'll throw the ball into the air, which he does now. Craigieburn, but it's Smith again showing the way for Douta's. Hands it off. They're going to go forward once more. They're looking for Cade Carey. Couldn't find him. Defence working hard. Ben Finch back there. Across the face of goal they go to Justin Melt. Oh, he's in trouble here. Hands it off. Umpire says you didn't dispose of it correctly. And right into the forward pocket. The free kick going Doutta Stars' way.
So Ellard gives himself a little bit of room and snaps through their fourth.
Well, they did it quickly then, didn't they? It wasn't much time since that ball up in the centre. They had it forward quickly into that forward area, and the goal results. Long kicks, the name of the game today.
I think it should be the name of the game every day, Benny.
Isn't it right? It's the way we like to see our footy, isn't it? Hey.
So, 27 plays 13. 17.5 minutes gone. First term. Doutta Stars started to exert their authority. Craigieburn rebounding. Out of the middle they come. Off the boot of Brett Gordon. Good kick. Mopping up at the back down there was Skibaris. Decides to kick it off the ground. They work it towards the outer back flank. Stars keeping possession. Now they're going to switch play. Not quite sure where to go here. Take a bounce. Could end up in trouble. Finally got a desperation kick away. And it worked out well in the end.
So
the Stars.
The boundary umpire, I think, has said that it was out of bounds on the full. And it will be, no, it wasn't out on the full. So it's going to be thrown in on that outer side. In she comes. Big Jason Cloak doing the ruck work, knocks it forward for Craigieburn. Was that interpreted as a push? No, says the umpire. So back to where it came from. Big Cloak there, jostling for position. The big tall guy's there. Comes out. Doutta Stars, little hand pass didn't do much, but they keep possession all the same. Douta's to go forward. Long kick into half forward. Up they go. The target there was Aaron Kite. Came to the ground. Another quick kick forward, looking for Nathan Scribbers. He couldn't get hold of the football. So Craigieburn defence working desperately in there to hold it in, and they do.
Forward pocket here for Doutta Stars. Danger. Can they manufacture something here? Having trouble getting the footy out. They crowd it up and win the free kick in the end. Good work by the Craigieburn defence.
Just holding it up at the present time. Now the kick goes down the line. Cloak comes out and takes the mark. Big Cameron Cloak.
Cloak now. In towards the centre of the ground. He's got support here. They're away. The target over here was Caruso, who did it beautifully. Pulled in a one-hander. That's how you do it, he says. Spins around. Kicks high. Sets it up for the Cloaks. No mark taken. The umpires paid it Doutta Stars' way in the end.
Just have to say that my sister tells me that her, my mother and my aunt are sitting in Alice Springs watching it on the iPad.
Oh, well, that's very good. Sean Ross with the footy for Doutta Stars. Heads over to the pavilion wing. Lands into no man's land now. Pace wanted, 2 against 1. Stars did it beautifully, but a good smother. Sees the kick off Anderson's boot. Rebound over and out for a throw in.
We've been playing just on 20 minutes here. 4-3-27 to 2-1-13. Plenty of players around this throw-in. The umpire fixes that by throwing it over the top of their heads. Getting back on there with Smith. His tackle instantly taken to the ground. Umpire says incorrect disposal on Craigieburn. Quick off the mark, get the ball out to Brett Gordon.
Gordon now got the hand pass off. He's got support in Danny Nolan. Nolan long, Cloak the target. Punches it up in the air, retrieves it himself. And he's won the free kick, has he?
Yeah, it was a push. He's paying the push out in that marking contest.
Fair enough.
He had eyes for the ball.
Like having a 10-ton international truck landing on you and the truck getting the free kick. There's the kick from Cloak. Oh, well kicked, well directed. Good mark in the forward pocket. The dangerous Josh Young with the footy.
Well, Young's been dangerous up forward. He reads the play so well. On a reasonable angle, still plenty of space there to see through the goalposts. Josh Young has 1 goal to date. Comes in, puts the ball on its way. It's a beauty. That's his second and Craigieburns' third.
And Kev's down there amongst the crowd.
Yes, boys, down here amongst the Essendon Doutta Stars crowd, and I tell you what, when they get a goal down here, this crowd erupts. They are chock full of Essendon Doutta Stars supporters, so great atmosphere down here at ground level. Back to you, fellas.
Good work, Kev Murphy down there. Division 1 Grand Final Day 2015. Those stands are packed over there. As players recommenced in the middle. 27 plays 19.
Umpire Patrick bounces it up nicely and comes to ground. Working back hard there is Georgievski for Douta's. In fact, couldn't get hold of the footy and the ball will be balled up.
Still pretty close to the middle of the ground proper. Quick hands came out, gave it to Ramsey. Ramsey towards half forward. Kites there. Oh, bursting through. Good work by Ben Finch. Did it well. Kicks high. No mark taken over there on that occasion by Laffin, but they win the footy, the Burners. Here's danger. Cloak on his own takes the mark, plays on, backs himself in towards goal. And the Burners get 2 inside a minute.
Well, what great work that was. They were just working hard to get the possession, Craigieburn, and because of that, they made something happen. Fighting tooth and nail for it and getting it down to big Jason Cloak. Backed himself in, as you said, put it straight through the middle. Confidence that.
Well, there's certainly a headache, proving a headache for the Doutta Stars defence, the Cloak boys, no doubt about that.
Back in the centre and up it goes. Page got the tap out once more there for Craigieburn. Tackles are laid. Hand pass comes out. Not a great one. Thomas scrambles for it. He'll win the free kick for a high tackle. Then he's paid the advantage straight away to half forward.
Long kick. They wrestle for position. Natalianis just tapped it over. Still anyone's ball. Ross got it though. Handballed it off. Put his teammate under pressure. Came back over here towards Skidbarris.
Free kick for high tackle.
Comes out now towards the centre wing, and it's marked here by George.
So George now at the interchange station there. Kicks the ball down, punched away. Thomas will lay the tackle. He did that. Got it across. So Cronin, he was taken to the ground but copped it high. Said umpire McGuinness, true centre wing. Listen to the stands.
It's the people in them actually. Blair Cronin kicked it in towards centre half forward. Another Doutta Stars free kick here. They'll work it forward now towards the half-forward line. Smith's there. His kick was smothered. Good work again by the Craigieburn defence.
Plenty of desperation in the backlines, isn't there?
Just on 25 minutes gone, first term.
In it comes. Page takes a front position, was knocked out the way. He'll win the free kick. Pretty obvious one on that occasion. The umpire's paying all the major free kicks at the present time, letting the others go. And I'm really liking paying those marking interferences. Should be able to go for the footy.
Yeah, we've seen some good ones too. Plenty of good big blokes in this game today. Marked centre half back here by Georgievski. For Craigieburn, just toe pokes it over. Ooh. Could be dangerous. He's paid the mark though.
Yeah, it's not going to go. It's going to go back. I thought he might have looked at that advantage.
So McAlane to take the kick out of defence.
McAlane is at half back. So it's still a handball it across. Just fiddling a little bit now. Back to Gordon. He's got tackle. Back it goes to Ben Finch, who's long hand pass. Can they get it moving from here? Craigieburn into trouble. But a quick kick sees it straight into the arms of Curizzo. He gets the ball forward. Long kick looking for the big men.
Cloak in front again. Used his body superbly. Took the mark. Tried to draw the free kick. Umpire having none of it on this occasion. So Jason Cloak with the ball. For Craigieburn. Comes in from right on the 50. Look at that kick. It's fading away to the right. Snuck through for a point. His brother couldn't keep it in. So nothing in this game towards the end of this first quarter.
27 minutes gone. And Doutta Stars with a 1 point advantage at the present time, go to that outer side where Smith has it. He's going to take him on, takes the bounce. Oh, has he got pace to burn? A second bounce, now he looks up, hands it over the top. Well, they're going to go with George, back inboard it comes, little spearing kick, and they find Rossetto. So he's at centre half forward. Just a little kick, just landed in the right place for him. I think he was looking to get it off as well. He wasn't sure that he can kick the distance.
So Mark Rossetto for Doutta Stars, fancies his chances from here. Comes in, got a breeze behind him, puts it on its way, it's holding up. They fly. Bundled through for a rush behind.
They're not going to let him play on that quickly. Because straight away, Doutta Stars had players on their own. They wanted to bring it out very quickly. Shannon Bennett with it.
Heads over to the grandstand side of the ground. Oh, chipping in and taking a good strong mark was Jed Clothier. Did it beautifully. He's got the ball right on the 50 for Doutta Stars. What can he do with this?
Be a handy goal before quarter time if he can put it through.
My word. Puts it on its way. He's judged it. Swings away to the left, though.
To Mark.
That's a good grab. I was going to say it's off hands. The ump's paid the mark. Taken there by Big Kite. Now he's conversing with the goal umpire.
Went through.
It was through for a point.
Hear the crowd? Not happy about that.
Craigieburn supporters breathed a sigh of relief nonetheless. Just hard to know where that wind's swirling out there.
Doutta Stars hold a 2 point advantage only. Shannon Bennett again kicking the ball back into play. Out to that outer side. It's off hands and across the boundary line.
Depends which board you believe. One scoreboard over the other side of the ground's got it 29 to 26 and the electronic one's got it 28 to 26.
I went with the new stuff, so I should have probably gone with the old dags.
Old's always better, Benny.
Should have known that.
They lock it up over there in the centre wing. And it'll be another ball up.
Up she goes.
Anyone's footy here. Running back onto Wiscaberis. Oh, they left it for each other on that occasion. Then they all pile in and force another ball up.
Could be the way it goes to the end of the quarter. Coming up to the 30-minute mark. Cloak was pushed out of the way, looked for the free kick, but there was none to be had. Ball goes forward, but the mark was spilt, so it means that Doutta Stars can come away with the football, getting back on its Cloak. He backed into the pack, and a free kick was given for a push out. That's to somebody else is going to take the free kick. In fact, it's Garrett Heenan with the footy.
Heenan now. Goes over the head of his intended target, allows the Doutta Stars defence in. Oh, doing it well there was Cronin, ran across half-back, bombed long, dashing stuff, up towards centre half-forward. Kite punched it away in the end. Heenan did the roving, copped one over the shoulder after he kicked it, and the umpire right on the spot. They're doing a good job now.
Right onto it. That's an alert umpiring, and gee, it makes the game so much better when those things are detected. Means the game gets cleaned up. Not being cleaned up by the game.
In towards half forward it goes. Oh, Doutta Stars reading the ball superbly. Race around that outer wing. But again, the ball finds the boundary line. So in the dying stages of the first term here, 3-point ball game as the wind picks up again.
Well, it is Windy Hill. And up they go to the front of the pack. Gives the little blokes a chance, and Doutta Stars come away with it. Running the boundary line. Now the kick goes in towards full forward. Punch from behind. That was a good work away from Kite. He's a dangerous man. And the ball across the boundary line. And the siren sounds. It's quarter time. Doutta Stars. Essendon Doutta Stars. A 4-5-29, not what that scoreboard says, to Craigieburn 4-2-26.
Well, a great first quarter there in this Division 1 Grand Final. And you can see that Craigieburn are going to be no pushover at all today, despite what a lot of people may have thought. Manny?
Well, Doutta Stars opened up beautifully, didn't they? They kicked the first goal. That was terrific. They were off and running and thought, well, the breezes favouring that end. How far will they get out? But Craigieburn, they didn't want to give up, and they just kept on moving the ball forward. When they did get it forward, they had a couple of guys there. So up forward, the big blokes, and the game is so close.
You're watching the Grand Final live on C31 Sport. We'll be back shortly. Well, plenty of people around both huddles too, and that's what's also good about local footy. Local community footy, proudly supported by the Strathmore Community Bank you saw in the background there, and other people like that. It's all about community. And look, they can all go and hear the coach talk.
Yep.
Can't do that at the AFL.
No, you can't. So yeah, that's where it is. So we got Kev down there on the ground. Go for it, Kev.
Brian here with me, the president of Craigieburn Footy Club. Brian, 4 goals into the win first quarter. You guys must be pretty happy so far.
Pretty happy so far, yes. They've played it pretty physical, but we've stood up, and going the way we liked it to go.
Conditions are difficult out here with the win, but they've played pretty well so far. With the win this quarter, you obviously want to capitalise.
Yeah, I think we need to, and hopefully we can, kicking down to the southern side of the ground.
Now, today, obviously this game, Craigieburn's a part of it, broadcasting live into Melbourne and Geelong. You guys as a club must be pretty excited about that.
We're very excited about being part of today, and it's all part of our plan and goals to get up into the Premier League.
Well, players about to get underway here in the second quarter. Good luck today. No doubt you'll be hoping for a win, but no, you're obviously pretty proud of the boys getting here as well.
Very, very proud of the boys. It's been a long journey, and very proud, and yeah, let's see what happens in this quarter.
Go and enjoy the last 3 quarters.
Thank you.
Back to you, boys.
Thanks very much, Kev. Nice guy too, Brian Hall, the president of the Craigieburn Football Club. Well, the umpires all standing around the footy there. Crowd walking off the ground, and I mentioned earlier in the call, Benny, I thought the umpires have done very well so far.
Well, I think what you want to see in a grand final is the umpires paying all the obvious major free kicks. Forget about the Ticky Touchwood ones, and that's the way it is so far. And if you do that, then the crowd aren't getting frustrated, the players aren't getting frustrated, and the game just plays as we've seen it so far in this first quarter. So they're on top of it, but again, there's 3 quarters to go. So they need to get back onto it and start again.
Umpire Michael McGuinness strides toward the footy as the crowd watches on there. Excuse me, as the crowd watches on. And not far away from a start in the second quarter.
Got to wait for the crowd to get off the ground, Eggs, and there's only a couple of small gates for them to get off.
Well, the whole crowd's got to be off the ground, not like the old days, mate. You see old pictures from the 1950s and all the crowd sitting around the boundary.
Well, that's when people really used to come to the footy.
Wouldn't be very good for health and safety, occupational safety these days.
So true. But
taking their time getting off down there.
Yeah, they are.
So umpire McGuinness just making sure that they're all off.
We're all in readiness to start the second quarter of football in the grand final, Division 1 of the EDFL. And it was Garrett Heenan that tried to get away for Craigieburn. His kick was smothered. He was pulled off the footy, and it'll be a ball up.
Tell you what, that touch of spring we had's gone. Winter's come back, I think. Benny's getting a bit cool here at Windy Hill. The players aren't cool, though. Heenan pumps the ball forward again. It was a funny old attempt at a kick, but it was thwarted anyway. Trying to take the ball away was Brett Gordon. He's claimed. They all pile in on him.
Thomas sucked that free kick beautifully. He just milked it nicely. So he kicks the ball now up to half forward, looking for the big cloak boys. And this time coming out of it, Caruso got it across there, looking there for Mekatish. Couldn't get hold of the footy. So now it's going to be Doutta Stars. Long kick. That's the one that they need. Oh, nice mark. Up high, taking it was Brendan George. Plays on straight away. Into the centre of the ground, knocked from behind. Craigieburn here at the numbers.
Chance now for the Craigieburn defence to set something up. Got support in the middle. Jesse Davies says thank you very much. Cronin on the mark. Davies bombs long. Cloak was lurking at the back, but in the way there was Mitchell Day. Play on, says the umpire. Day picks out his skipper in Smith. Shiloh Smith with the ball now. Been busy so far today for Doutta Stars. Just chips it over to Mark Anderson.
Anderson now wields around and in towards half forward. Oh, two Craigieburn players upset each other there. Gives them a chance to go forward. Jensen with the footy. Gets it across. The hand pass going towards Cade Carey. But to knock back beautifully. Here's a chance for them. He snuck it through all right. Great snap. That's their fifth.
Great piece of work down there. So good stuff there. They move now to 5-5-35 to 4-2-26.
Both teams thinking the wind has no advantage when they're kicking against it.
So the umpire taking plenty of time and concentration over that bounce, which was all wasted in the end. But the thought was there. Daniel Patrick recommences play. Neither ruckman got their hands to the footy. Handball came out. Big kick from Jeremy Page. Sets it up. Cloak the target. Couldn't take the mark. Chance here for Brett Gordon. Kicks it in towards the goal square. A little bit of soccer. Italianus is after it. Kicks it off the ground out of the danger zone.
He's looking over there for Allard. But the boundary line lurks. And it'll be thrown back into play. 35 plays 26. Early doors of the second quarter. Big Cameron Cloak doing the ruck work there. Comes out. Goes forward again for Craigieburn, but they cut it off at the pass, Douttas. And they just want to kick down the line on this occasion. Looking for the big men there. Over the back of the pack it goes. McErlane's there. Brings the ball back into the centre corridor area where Young gets hold of it, kicks it beautifully to his teammate there on the half-forward line.
So Craigieburn now trying to set something up again. They look for Cloak. Spilled to where Caruso was lurking. There's the kick. Cloak takes it. That's the other Cloak. That's Jason. Says thank you very much. Craigieburn answer back. Well, they're nipping at their heels, Benny Craigieburn, no doubt about that. We've got a good, even contest on our hands here in the grand final.
And that was Jason Cloak's second goal of the day. He has two, Josh Young has two, and Cameron Cloak has one.
Recommence play in the middle. Anyone's footy play on, says the umpire. Bit of volleyball. Saliba had it. Here's the chance now. Long kick again in towards half forward for Craigieburn. Gordon tried to crash his way through. Cloak's got it. One way, then the other. Puts it onto the foot. Swings it round to the left. Misses everything over and out on the full.
Gee, nobody went near him there, did they? One way, back the other. He's going to dish it off 3 times. So now it's Doutta Stars to come out of defence. And they're going to use that outer side with plenty of run and carry in towards that half-forward line. It was knocked away there from Barnes. Little hand pass comes out. They've got to try and open something up. It comes out one way or another. The kick towards the goal, but the whistle's gone. There's going to be a free kick. Yeah, throw.
I was going to say, it looked like an old Teddy Whitten flick pass to me. So Craigieburn with the free kick at half back. We're just on the defensive side of the centre square to be exact. Nothing in this game, as you can see. Mitchell Day bombs it long.
Oh,
again,
sticky fingers.
Big Cloak's the target. Jason Cloak's got it. Plays on straight away. Bombs it high up towards centre half forward. It's all Doutta Stars here. You think, but Page came from nowhere. Stole it over the top like picking cherries. And he'll shoot for goal.
Gee, that was good. He thought he was out of position. The ball was swirling in the air. He just kept his eyes on it and then launched himself at it. What a great mark. Gee, if he can go back and put this through, he'll cap it off beautifully.
Yet to kick one. He'd love to kick one right now, though. Jeremy Page skips in, puts it on its way. He's shanked this one too. Point only. A lot of the shots for goal to that right of screen are fading away to the left. Not of screen, to the goals. You know what I mean, Benny.
Yeah, I do. Don't know that the viewers will, though. But the ball will be brought back into play, coming to the stand side of the ground. Blair Cronin comes across, made a yard there to take that mark. Runs around, is called to play on by the umpire, now doesn't know where to go. Now he's got to put on some pace on the afterburners. Kicks it into the outer side where there's just nobody at home.
Yeah, they just lope after it. Chance here now for Brown over there. Fed it off nicely. Clothier took it. Bombed it in towards the forward pocket to no one in particular. Bounces harmlessly over the line and out for a throw in. As the choppers do their work above us.
That's how good a game it is, Dags. They're sending the choppers. Ball gets thrown back into play. Page up high and gets the tap out. It's knocked a number of times, but the quick kick goes to half forward. Bounces nicely there for Caruso. He gets the ball across. They come across to Brenton Cox. He's got time. Drop punt, sees it down towards Cloak. He takes a front position, tries to knock it on, but wasn't to the advantage of his teammates then. The hand pass comes, they're keeping it near the boundary line. They all thought that the ball was out of bounds. In the end, the boundary umpire actually reckons it was. I'm not sure that it was.
Hard to tell from up here, though.
Yep, true.
Nothing in this game. We've been playing now nearly 8.5 minutes in this second quarter. 2015 Grand Final coming to you live on C31 Sport. Doutta Stars under pressure in defence. Over the footy was Natalianis. They go in with gay abandon. Ball pops up. Finally the whistle will sort this out. He'll pay a free kick and he's going Craigieburns way, is it?
Yeah, it is.
So a Craigieburn free kick here, and it's going to be taken by David Caruso, who handballs it instead.
To Young, whose left foot kick puts it right up the teeth of goal. To our Jewel. Cloak takes the mark. Cameron Cloak standing there and just being able to put the arms up with strength. Plays on quickly around the body. He goes. I think he sprayed it though. Just allowed too much on that occasion. Through for a behind. Might even give him another kick. No.
So the chance of going down in the grandstand now. Love their footy here in the Essendon District Footy League. Doutta Stars bring the ball back into play. Went over the head of Ronaldson on that occasion. They've got plenty of time and space. Moved the footy pretty well on that occasion. Got it to half forward quickly. Clever tap on. Here's the opportunity for an answering goal. Bounces. Across the face. Still in play. Craigieburn. All the time in the world now to work out how they're going to defend.
And they bring the ball out right onto Chris McErland's chest. Now it's Ben Finch with the footy. That. Incorrect disposal. Finch just too slow.
Gee, it looked a bit laconic, didn't it?
Blair Cronin's had a fair bit of the footy, but he hasn't kicked a goal as yet. Well, he has kicked one. I haven't put it down.
He got one earlier, Benny.
You're right, he has got one.
It was a good goal. Cronin now gives himself every chance here. Puts it on its way. That's a good-looking kick. Whoa, deceptive from here.
Shave the post.
Point only.
Doutta Stars 36, Craigieburn 34. Scores are there, but on the screen, long kick out. Oh, nobody at home, so Doutta Stars a chance.
It was a little bit sloppy.
You need to hit targets when you kick out from full back. Mark taken, hand pass, so goes over the top. Now the kick is high and long into the forward line. Up they go went up early.
Flew too early. Craigieburn free kick back there to Ben Finch. Finch in the long sleeves. Just taking all the time in the world to work out where he's going to kick this. Just kicks high. That's to a contest. Two Doutta Stars players spoiled each other. They still had a third waiting. Came over here to Skibaris. Gave it back. They can set something up here. No mark taken though. Craigieburn again. Under pressure. Good smother. They see it over and out.
Aaron Kite's quite dangerous in that forward line, and Craigieburn are onto him every time, smothering his kick on that occasion. Ball comes back into play. Big men do their contest. It comes across to Carey. He snapped it straight through.
Hi, I'm Phil from the Strathmore Community Branch of Bendigo Bank. If you do your banking with us, you can rest assured that the profits we generate will be put back into the local community. We contribute 80% of our profits back into the local community.
Thank you. The Carey chant goes up from the grandstand here at Windy Hill after he just booted his second goal to increase the Doutta Stars lead. 12 and a half minutes gone. Second quarter. Can Craigieburn fight back before half time? Fisting it up in the air. It's all volleyball at the moment. Quick hands from Page. Went in the wrong direction. Stolen there by Clothier. Craigieburn with the numbers back here. Justin Maul now. Gave it over to the running Heenan. Heenan will chip in short, but inaccurately. Doutta Stars in the way.
So looking now to kick the ball down the line. It's a long kick, but Craigieburn up to the task at the present time. Scott Hamilton now has it. His raking left foot kick sees it to half forward. They were looking over there for Cameron Cloak. He's paved the way. It's taken by Laffin. Long into the forward line. Cloak's there, throws himself at the footy, not paid the mark. Doutta Stars defence working brilliantly back there. The fight's on for the footy. Mitchell Day, what a great effort that was. And they've been able to bring the ball out of defence. Mark Anderson with it. He's going to run down the wing. He's had one bounce already, taken another.
Oh, it's on behind him.
Ball squared up a little bit, and they give it across to where Brer Clonan is. Kicks into half forward. One hand up, intercepts the footy, and the quick kick sees it back from where it came from.
It's all Doutta Stars here at the bounce, but it could bounce kindly for Lappin in the end. Taken by Ross. Got a scrubby little kick, but Clothier has plenty of time now. Has a bounce, has a look around. Kicks long and high. Kite the target. Flew high. Had it punched away from him though. Oof. They go in hard. The umpire's picked out a free kick, or is it a ball up?
Maybe a high tackle.
He's just
paid to Doutta Stars.
Thrown the hand in
Silo
the air.
Smith will win the free kick here.
I think it's a ball up. You're right, Ben. He's paid the free kick.
So, yeah, he copped a high tackle with a hip to his head.
Hasn't kicked the goal as yet, Shiloh Smith. But this would certainly give the Doutta Stars some handy breathing space. Coming up to the 15-minute mark.
Comes in. Smith puts the ball on its way. It's holding up in the breeze. Won't make the distance and rush through for a behind.
One would think that Craigieburn would be happy to go in at half-time, only a kick or two behind Doutta Stars.
Well, after their first quarter, you would think that they would like it to have been in front.
There's the kick. They set themselves close to the centre wing. It's been good close-in stuff. Both sides hard at the footy. The umpire's picked out another high tackle here.
That's right too.
And again going Doutta Stars' way to be taken by Marcus Calvarisi. He's got support in the middle. Clothier, left unattended. Kicks quickly in towards the forward line. No mark taken. Hand pass came over here to Ramsey. He's claimed. Got the hand pass away. Here's an easy goal in the end. Into an open goal. Doutta Stars on the march now.
Yeah, good teamwork there by Doutta Stars. keeping the ball in their forward line and then ending up winning the goal out of it all.
So 49 plays 34, as you can see on the screen there. All the action coming to you from Windy Hill live from C31 Sport.
So we're live and local as the ball is now directed into Ward's Cloak into the half-forward line for Craigieburn, but in the way, Mitchell Days there. Knocks it over the top. Nathan Scribberus comes away with the footy. Not sure what to do with it. Hand passes it up in the air. It was a hospital-type hand pass. In the end, it comes to Sean Ross, and Ross delivers nicely into half-forward. Plenty of players there. Bounces over the top of everybody. Kerry's there. Hands it off to Aaron Kite. He got caught and drops the footy, says the umpire. Craigieburn, they'll have to go back behind the mark on this occasion.
He was besieged then, Aaron Kite. 15 points the lead now, though, for Doutta Stars. Craigieburn doesn't want to let it skip out too far. Good long kick. Good attack on the footy there. Can they set something up here from Makatich? In towards Cloak. Has the ball knocked away from him again. Doutta Stars defence standing up well in this quarter. Cronin the target. Juggles it. Couldn't complete the mark.
He had enough goes at it.
We all know what that feels like when you just can't grab that last time.
17.5 minutes gone of this quarter. Ball gets thrown back in. Page doing a ton of ruck work here. Hand passes high and over the top. Misses the target. It was Prestia that hands it off. Looking for Ross. Sean Ross shows a clean pair of heels. Sets it up nicely into the forward line. A push out, but it comes free. They're working hard back there, the defence. There's Kite and also Carey.
Oh, he's won a high tackle.
Going to Kite.
Gee, that's a gimme. A little bit unlucky, the Craigieburn defence then. There were hands going everywhere, and I think they more or less just touched him on the shoulder. But they can hurt that close to goal, no doubt about that.
Well, it just goes to show if you get it in quickly, it upsets the defence and gives your forwards a chance. So Aaron Kite comes in, has one goal to date.
Oh, he's missed it. Has he?
No, he's put it through, says a goal. Umpire looks as though he'd missed it to me.
The Craigieburn defence are looking a little bit dumbfounded, but it's a goal. So there you go.
It takes his tally to 39 for the year.
Well, they're still remonstrating down there. Brenton Cox is saying a few words.
And from our position up here, we can't blame him.
No.
All the same, the goal umpire was down there. He was under the post.
So a handy little lead now to Essendon Doutta Stars over Craigieburn. Craigieburn looking for their very first premiership since 1993. But they've got a little bit of catching up to do now as another footy comes at you. There must be a few footies down in that schoolyard, Benny.
If you're a little kid, mate, that's where you get. Ball's thrown high into the air. Page got the tap out. He did it beautifully on that occasion. Tapped it nicely into half forward. Looking for the tall timber down there. But getting back on it is Nathan Scribberus. Kicking the ball out to half back. Danger here though. In go Craigieburn. They can't get a handle on the footy. Doutta Stars defence working hard. Tackles are laid, but the umpire said he had no opportunity. So they'll throw it up.
Scribberus doing a good job in defence there for Doutta Stars. He's mopping up a lot of Craigieburns attacking moves. And here comes another one. Heenan snaps it in towards Cloak. Comes out. Couldn't take it. His brother's lurking. Picked it up. He's kicking towards goal. Goes bang. Sticks the arm up. Says that's how you do it. And the fans applaud accordingly.
Proud sponsors of the 2015 EDFL Final Series, CS&G Signs are industry leaders in high-quality signage for businesses large and small, providing a winning solution from conception to installation. Call CS&G Signs or visit csng.com.au.
As it was earlier, no doubt about that, but Doutta Stars, handy lead. We've been playing just on 21 minutes in this second quarter. And again, Doutta Stars deep in attack.
Yeah, right out to that half-forward flank on the outer side of Craigieburn defence. They come out with it and drop punt the ball. There's nobody at home back there. The only bloke that's going to get anywhere near is Makatish. The boundary line loomed first. And it'll be a throw in. You reckon the bowlers would be over there today, wouldn't you? Getting a free look at the footy.
Bit of practicing for the bowl season. That's tapped down there by Cloak. Doutta Stars again with the answers. Cronin's got it, claimed straight away, got rid of the footy. Eagles with the numbers here. There's the kick in towards Cloak, that's better for him. Lands on his chest. And a chance here for Craigieburn to creep just a little bit closer. The ball in the safe hands of Jason Cloak. And within kicking distance for sure, and it's on over at centre half forward.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
A little bit of how's your father, but Jason Cloak's just concentrating on his kick.
That's the way to be. Comes in now with the drop punt, swings across to that favoured side. Up goes Cameron Cloak.
Again, that ball swinging away to the left at that end.
Yeah, it is. Quite a deal.
Oh, what's
There's
happened
a
here?
free kick or something. There's
Oh,
a yellow
send-off.
card.
There's a send-off.
Cronin's gone off. He's been given the yellow card. And there's going to be a free kick paid to Craigieburn where the ball went out of bounds. Right in the...
Well,
umpire's taking control of this and directing the traffic.
so this could.
There's a blood rule
There's a blood
also
rule
about
as
to
well,
come
so
off.
it's definitely all happening. Cloak has the footy in the forward pocket. Tucked safely under his arm.
Yeah, look at the Doutta Stars defenders. Gee, they're not giving much time here. There's going to be a blood rule. And they're waiting for time to happen, to elapse while that blood rule's on. Cameron Cloak's going to try something special here.
He's going to do the big hook around the body kick.
Yep. They're all going to run in there, all the Doutta Stars defenders there. He plays on now, puts the ball on its way, but he's missed. And he climax in the end.
Big build-up for a point, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So the margin back to 14 points now. Half-time not all that far away.
Just remember, Doutta Stars are a player down now.
Yes. So can they take advantage of this situation, the Eagles? Just 17 men on the field for the Burners as the pass comes in towards Prestia. Anthony Prestia for Doutta Stars. Just taking all the time in the world. He's called to play on, is he?
Yep,
yes,
he has.
Has to kick now. Does it well in the end. Bounce past Skibberus on that occasion, though. He gets thrown away without the footy. And again, the umpire on the spot. Missing nothing. Doutta Stars free kick.
24 minutes into the quarter. And the kick is down the line over there, but Craigieburn with numbers coming away with it. Georgievski kicks long now in towards the big man in Cameron Cloak. He's lurking after the footy. Jason's there. His kicks off the side of his boot. It's high. Little fellas are there, but no mark was taken. Should have been, you would have thought. Comes over the top. Bit of volleyball being played at the present time. Young shows him how to do it. Snaps towards the goals. But last line of defence, the mark taken.
Yeah, good work by Josh Young, but just went over the head of Cloak. As again, the Doutta Stars defence doing the job at the moment. Loose footy, but it's Doutta Stars everywhere. Shiloh Smith took it, fed off the hand pass, came back over here to Brendan George. George now, he's got two players running. Skibberus says, I'll have it. Runs back onto the left foot, kicks high, Kite's on his own, takes the mark. It's not Kite, it is in fact James Barnes, and he has the ball within kicking distance.
Even got a similar strut to his father, hasn't he?
Son of John Barnes.
Comes in now. Puts the ball on its way, tries to guide it through. He succeeded. Another goal on the board there, ninth.
So the lead back out to 20 points now for Doutta Stars. And you're right, Benny, that breeze has dropped considerably. Nothing like it was earlier.
And I don't know that Craigieburn have quite the intent at the footy. They're thinking that the breeze was going to do it for them. Ball's thrown up in the centre. Page, he's not letting up though. Little kick off the ground, Young's there, but the free kick going Page's way. Jeremy Page hands it off straight away to Young. He looks up the ground. He'll be looking for the big tall timber down there. Oh, good work. Nathan Scribberus again.
Yeah, and he's been slung, and that'll be 50 metres.
Yeah. Takes the heat out of it, doesn't it?
So Craigieburn just starting to go off the boil here a little bit. They want to be careful because this could be a dangerous time for them just a few minutes before half-time. A few more goals to Doutta Stars here, and they could really open the floodgates. There's a kick towards the centre wing. Anyone's footy. Stars in control at the moment. Ramsey fed off a long hand pass. Natalianis delivers it in towards the forward line. Punched away from Barnes on that occasion. Again, Doutta Stars win the footy. Good looking pass. And I tell you what, they're starting to look good now, the Doutta Stars. Cade Carey with the ball will shoot from not far out.
Well, he has 2 to date. He's strong, isn't he? The way that he was able to charge at the football and take that mark. So Cade Carey, as I said, 2 on the board to date. They're looking for their 10th goal, the Douttas. Kick at goal, sees it go to the right, through for behind only.
So not far away from half-time in the 2015 Division 1 Grand Final in the EDFL. Coming to you live on C31 Sport. That was a magnificent kick, nearly reached the middle. They need more of that. They just looked outnumbered every time they go near the footy, Craigieburn. Came over here to Caruso in the end. He chipped it over towards centre half forward. But the work rate of Doutta Stars lifting in this quarter. Hand pass came out here to Jason Cloak. Cloak now on the right foot. Wobbly kick, bounces. Bounces the wrong way, did an off break. Through for a point. They needed a goal there.
Yeah, they do need a goal. They need a goal quickly. It's getting very close to half-time. 28.5 minutes gone of the second term. And the ball, that's a good kick out. But the big, tall timber up. Oh, did it beautifully, Jason Cloak. They just keep their eyes on the ball, both Cloak boys.
And it's a 50.
He was never going to kick it from outside the 50 metres. He's going to be brought within easy kicking distance. He should put this through.
Well, what was that, running across the mark, was it? I think it was an infringement. So Jason Cloak, he's already kicked 3. Shouldn't miss this from the end of the goal square. Goes bang. Another footy lost on top of the roof. More importantly, another goal to Craigieburn.
Hi, I'm Phil from the Strathmore Community Branch of Bendigo Bank. If you do your banking with us, you can rest assured that the profits we generate will be put back into the local community. We contribute 80% of our profits back into the local community.
Yes, I'm down here with the Eagles supporters, Daryl, and haven't had much to cheer about in this quarter, but they've got one there, and I tell you what, they gave Blair Cronin from the Essendon Doutta Stars a bit of a send-off too when he got sent off about 10 minutes ago. Coming back the Eagles, but Stars still well on top. Back to you, fellas.
Thanks, Kev. Ball back in the middle. Craigieburn need another one, and then they'll be right back in it. Josh Young sprinting after the footy. Have they got a new spring in their step? Shiloh Smith keeps it ahead of him for Doutta Stars over there. Just flicked it over. Could get themselves into trouble. Whistle on play. In fact, the boundary line wins out in the end. That'll be a throw in. 30 minutes gone in the second quarter. Half-time looms.
Yeah, just ticking down. You would think to half-time now as it's thrown back into play. Over the back it goes. Was a chance there for Douttas if they could get away, but Page gets his boot to the footy, sees it back towards a half-forward line, races on for it over there. Jed Clothier was first there, but the boundary line beats them all. It'll be a throw-in. Right beside that scoreboard, the old-style one.
Yeah, good old-fashioned one. That's what we like. Big thump away by Barnes. As the siren rings out for half-time in the 2015 Division 1 Grand Final here at Windy Hill, and it's Essendon Doutta Stars with a handy 14-point lead. They lead 9-8-62 to 7-6-48.
Well, I'm here with Bruce Runting, president of the Essendon Doutta Stars Footy Club, and you guys would have been pretty happy with that quarter.
Yeah, we were kicking against probably a 3 or 4 goal breeze, so we did well there. Yeah, very good, very pleased.
It's been a pretty tight game. Both sides have had their chances. I guess on days like this, it's about capitalising when you've got an opportunity going forward.
Yeah, certainly. We're taking everything we can.
The support you've had here today, of course, you've had multiple teams in the grand final today. It makes a real difference when you've got your whole community behind you.
Oh, certainly, but I think if we only had the one team in, that we would have had the same support anyway, so it's been great.
The support of your team particularly, very loud. You've got the Premiership under-18s in the grandstand, and they're up and about. They're having a great day.
Yeah, well, they've got the horns and everything going and stirring up the Cloak boys, so that's always good for footy. So.
Cloak boys love to be hated amongst the other clubs in the Essendon District Footy League, of course. Now, what are the plans? Essendon Doutta Stars win in the seniors this afternoon. You've already had one premiership, runners-up in the reserves. It'll be a big night down there at the club tonight.
Certainly, so if anyone wants to come around for a couple of beers or whatever, you're certainly welcome, so go for it.
Get down there, no doubt you've got some food on, plenty of beverages, and you obviously had a fantastic year, all three sides in the grand final. Is that what you had planned pre-season? I mean, in your wildest dreams, did you think you'd get all three sides here today?
Well, look, we planned that way, and believe it or not, we took out the 16s as well and one of the 10s, so it's really been a stellar year for the club.
Well, it's fantastic. A very strong club in Metro Melbourne, a well-known club, the Essendon Doutta Stars, and I guess it makes it a bit extra special to having your senior grand final broadcast live on TV today. That must be extra special for the supporters who can't get here.
Oh, certainly. It's fantastic. So I think it's new for the league, and I hope it keeps it up.
Well, Bruce, you've got an exciting second half to look forward to. Hopefully, for your sake, the boys get the job done, and you'll have a great night back there at the club rooms. All the best.
Good on you, mate. Thanks.
Back to you, fellas.
Thanks very much, Kev. And catching up with the Doutta Stars pres there. We also caught up, you caught up, Benny, last week after their big win with the Craigieburn crowd, and you caught up with their president, Brian Hall, and their coach, Peter Bugden.
Craigieburn started their football in 1967 in the Riddle District Football League. Basically, we then joined the EDFL, and in 2005 we won our first B-grade premiership to go up into A grade. Over recent years we did get relegated down to Division 1 in the Essendon Football League, and basically we've been fighting back as a club to get back into Premier League, and this is the year that we really wanted to have a great shot at getting back into the Premier League competition.
Well, you were down near the bottom of the ladder last year, so you've obviously done something different this year.
Yeah, well, basically this year's been a 3-year sort of venture for the club. We had to get a number of players back once we were relegated. We've put a lot of time into our junior development, and our juniors coming through into our seniors, but we also needed the cream, and that's why we went out and we recruited guys like Jason and Cameron Cloak and Josh Young, and so many others.
What do they bring to the club?
They bring some leadership. They're also good around the club, and they're teaching and showing our younger guys and maturing them as footballers around the club, so to make them part of our development program of enjoying and becoming senior footballers.
Tell us a little bit about your coach.
Look, Peter's been a very good coach in the Northern League, won a number of premierships at Whittlesea, and basically he was the sort of coach that we needed at this club.
It's been a big build-up, mate. We've come from a long way back. We were second last year. So, it's been a long 2 years to get to this stage for the boys, but I think they're very relieved to get a win in a final under their belt. So
was last week pretty disappointing? It was a crackerjack game.
Yeah, no, look, last week the end result was disappointing, but we're going to play a very physical game against Doutta Stars again, and certainly in the first half we were in front last time around, so I'm very confident that we can get the win next week.
And back live at Windy Hill, so it means a lot to the people from those clubs, Benny, to not only play in a grand final, but perhaps achieve the ultimate success.
Very true. And what about all the kids and not so small kids out there kicking a footy around and having a damn good time out on the ground at half time?
Well, I see the game as very evenly poised at this stage, of course.
Only 14 points in it, and that can be obliterated like that, especially if the Cloak boys start getting into top gear.
Well, they've got to get the ball down to him and probably tighten up in their back line, Craigieburn, so that they don't let those... Well, there's been some free kicks that are paid, and there's also been some loose marking defensive work that have caused goals to occur, and Doutta Stars taking advantage of that. Craigieburn have to tighten up in that area, but all the same, they can do that because the ball gets up into their forward line when it goes there quickly. I tell you what, either one Cloak boy or the other is dangerous and lurking and ready to take a big grab, and they're doing it.
My word. Well, I'm looking forward to a fantastic second half here. I also would like to talk about the prospect of local footy live on television, because that's what we're doing today, and it's been our dream for a very, very long time. The very hard-working crew here at C31 are making it happen in a very short space of time.
Yep.
So, I would love to see this happen more often. Do you see the value of local footy live on television, as they're seeing today, as good for our community?
Well, I reckon it is, because what you see as local football on the television is the TAC, or the league VFL footy, and really it's like the outer on this ground. There's nobody there, but obviously you can hear the crowd noises here. There's a good crowd in, and we see that every week in local footy, where people are really the characters of a community come to the footy and get involved and love it, and we could bring that to from all over the state.
Well, it's something you don't hear the mainstream media or the AFL talk about, are the big crowds that get to local footy. You never hear about it.
Well, there's more people that go to local footy each and every week than goes to league football. And the league football, it's dropping off in numbers, and I reckon in local footy it's gaining numbers at the present time because people are all inclusive here.
Well, let's hope that this is the start of something ongoing, and that we can bring the colour of local footy right across Victoria in different locations to the people of Victoria in their lounge rooms.
Well, it'd be sensational if it's financially possible to get it done. It would be sensational week in and week out to do it.
We know, and we see it week in, week out, the following that local footy has in our community, and it's the absolute hub of a lot of country footy towns.
Well, it's a hub of the town, the way things go.
Okay. Well, umpires are back out on the ground. All the action for the second half coming up soon here on C31 Sport. And Kev's. No, he's not down there, is he?
Here he is.
He's Browning. Down there.
There's him and Browning.
There's Kev.
Down here, boys.
Okay.
Have you got me?
Yes, we've got you, Kev.
Yes, just down here, boys, about to take orders for lunch. Now, I'm here. There's plenty of food, as you can see. We've got the food vans selling the healthy stuff, the wraps and the salad rolls, as well as the unhealthy stuff, the hot dogs and the hamburgers. Now, Benny, I'm going to head over to the donut stand, but apparently you're banned, so I can't purchase any for you.
You still need to get 2 dozen, I would reckon, to fix this crew up.
That's right. I've got beef burgers ready to go, Benny, but you can't have 2 potato cakes in the hamburger. They reckon it's just too unhealthy. It breaks some food laws or something. But I've got your order, boys. I'll run down and get it. You've done a great job, but you must be pretty hungry. I'll get the food and I'll run it up to you shortly. But give me a few minutes and I'll be back with someone from the Strathmore Community Bank as well. Thank you, fellas.
Good on you. Thanks, Kev. Standing there in front of the rubbish bins is where he belongs sometimes, honestly. Nah, he's doing a great job.
If he just keeps walking out the ground there, he'd be out of there totally. So that's how it'll be.
Okay, second half coming up shortly here at Windy Hill.
Back here at Windy Hill, both teams back out on the ground, both Essendon Doutta Stars and also Craigieburn.
And Kev's down there. He's got another celebrity of big note with him down just there inside the boundary. Down to you, Kev.
Yes, boys. I'm here with Brownie from the Strathmore Community Bank. Great supporters of local footy, Essendon District Footy League in particular. And we're doing a live broadcast of the Essendon District Footy League Division 1 Grand Final down here at Windy Hill today. And you guys are right behind it.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic day. We look forward to you blokes presenting a good coverage today. It's been fantastic.
We've got the Premier Grand Final coming next week as well on Saturday, back here at Windy Hill. What's the reason the Community Bank wants to get behind local footy and the broadcast through the Local Footy Show?
Well, the community banks always put back 80% of their profits back in the local community, and here at Strathmore we've put back, I think, over $6 million in our 15 years. And we sponsor the league, and this is another part of it, so we think it's a fantastic thing.
It's a perfect partnership, isn't it? A community bank getting behind the biggest community event in Melbourne, and that's local footy, isn't it?
Certainly is. Local footy is fantastic for the area, so it's just a great thing.
Well, of course, viewers, if you want to buy a great newspaper, Brownie's Napier Street News Agency, fantastic work down there. Thanks again to the Strathmore Community Bank. Enjoy the second half. Thanks, Brownie.
Two hams if ever you've seen them.
Exactly right.
Kevin Brownie. But Brownie and the Community Bank's support of local footy and of what C31 is doing has been tremendous. And we take our hat off to them. Because without them, you wouldn't be seeing these pictures.
Oh, he's a good driver of local footy and our media coverage of it.
Well, all set to get the action underway in the second half. Division 1 Grand Final 2015, Premiership glory for one of these sides coming up in about an hour's time.
You prepared to call it, Dax?
Oh, I think Doutta Stars have the running at the moment, Benny, but who knows? Anybody's game. As I say, if Craigieburn can get a couple of quick goals, it's back on. But Doutta Stars winning the ball out of the middle. Shiloh Smith handballed it over his head, came unstuck in the end because Big Page has got it now. Gave it over towards Makatich. Makatich in short. Caruso's there. Chance there for Cloak. Tried to bullock his way through. It's at half forward here now for Craigieburn. Gee, an early goal here would be good for them. Umpire letting them try to get the footy out. Eventually puts the whistle to his mouth and says, I'll have it.
Well, it's half forward for Craigieburn. Big punch that time by Jed Clothier. Smith's underneath it. He's taken to the ground. The umpire says, no, you weren't, in his back. So he'll ball it up. Centre half forward, just inside the 50-metre arc. What can be conjured here? Up they go. Page gets a tap out once more. Gets bounced a third time. And then the quick kick. Sees it inside the 50-metre arc. Punched away. And Smith, he's got some pace. Hands it over. Another long hand pass. Sees it towards Ramsey. His hand pass keeps moving it forward. But Craigieburn, they've got some pressure back there. Makatish gets the ball further forward for Craigieburn. The Eagles, they're going to go into attack.
What can they do here? Oh, nearly a one-hander. Brett Gordon did a bit of juggling as well, but couldn't keep the footy.
What's wrong with that footy? They just can't pick it up.
Bit of pressure out there, and they lock it up just outside the attacking 50 here for Craigieburn.
Don't know about the grass out there because the ball bouncing awkwardly. And a number of occasions we've seen the players not quite judging it correctly or precisely.
Centre half forward here for Craigieburn, but Doutta Stars with the numbers here. Hand pass comes over to Ross, couldn't quite take it with him, grabs it on the second try, has a bounce, in towards the centre wing it goes, that'll end up over the line, nothing surer, it'll be thrown in right in front of our commentary position here on C31 Sport.
Local and live.
My word.
The way we like our footy. As the ball's thrown back into play, juggle for position there, but it comes away, and Doutta Stars are going to go forward with a long high kick. That could bring rain. Doesn't though, and the mark taken that time by Mark Anderson. He's going to deliver it towards half forwards. An open forward line here for Doutta Stars. Knocked away. Running onto the footballs, Aaron Kite! And he nearly put it through. I thought it might have gone through there in the end. Didn't bounce right for him and threw for behind.
Good piece of work. Good skills by Kite. Just didn't come off in the end.
Kite saw pretty well in windy conditions, Dex.
Yeah, they should be good in the wind, I suppose. So Craigieburn under a bit of pressure now.
Oh, good mark.
And that's a good, strong grab. Oh, got it straight away to Heenan. That was slick work. Down here towards Jesse Davies. Screws it back. Target down there was Calvarisi. But the wind's carried it over the line and out. Doutta Stars free kick. Virtually last line of defence on that outer side. Nathan Skiberis with a footy. He's been good for them today. Goes in short, picks out Smith.
He's looking up the ground, but there's nothing on for him quite yet. Players just haven't been able to make space, so he has to drop the short one in, and it was just a bit too short. Good work back there by Chris McLaren. He was able to hold it up there for Craigieburn, and the ball's out of bounds, just what they needed. Taking the footy away from Doutta Stars. So it's on centre wing.
15 points the margin early in this third quarter. Back here again next Saturday for the Premier Division Grand Final. Looking forward to that. Aberfeldy and Greenvale.
We might have to come back. If it's a draw, do we come back here?
Do that these days, Ben.
No, extra time.
Up it goes, centre wing here. Craigieburn need to start making some impression here. Although they have got what we thought was a scoring end in the last quarter, but it hasn't really turned out like that. Mitch Day with the footy now for Doutta Stars. Well, that's a decent sort of hoof too. Right over to the centre wing, and a good mark in the end taken by Shiloh Smith. He's been good today.
He has, hasn't he?
Skipper.
Yeah, getting right amongst it all. Now the kick, it's a high again. Up they fly, punch really instead of taking the mark. It was one out contested. Ball's out of play. We've only been going 4.5 minutes of third quarter. Usually it's the third quarter that sets up a premiership win. Have to keep our eye on how this one pans out.
They call it the premiership quarter, don't they? Knocked down by Barnes. Gee, trying to crash his way through was Ramsey. Did it well. Loose footy at the moment. What can Craigieburn do here? Hand pass came over. Oh, that's good running on that occasion by Matty Thomas. He's been good. Kicks deep in towards the forward line and straight onto the chest there of the running Cloak. Cloak turns around straight away because he's got Brett Gordon in his sights. Puts it on his chest about 20 metres out.
Yeah, good running by Cloak and good vision as well to pick out Brett Gordon. This one will be very handy for Craigieburn if they can put it through. It's early in the third quarter. This to narrow the margin. Taking some time over the kick. It is important. Brett Gordon delivers a footy. The goal umpire's moved across through from behind. They needed a goal.
Costly miss. As you say, can't afford to be missing them. They need a bit of momentum, Craigieburn. That would have given them some. Little chip out here. And they'll just lope around the back flank. Doutta Stars. High kick. Page sets himself. Took a good mark. Had his name on it all the way. Jeremy Page. Battling hard today for Craigieburn. Off the hands of Cloak. At the back was Gordon. Couldn't take it with him. Going in hard for the footy. Scrambly stuff at the moment. Looking for a clean possession. Nobody can find it. Oh, that could have been a throw.
Well, great smother.
It's all right, says the umpire.
So now it's going to be Craigieburn through the agency of Gordon into the forward line. High flyers wanted. Oh, but that error reliable. Nathan Scribberus takes the mark, gets it straight away out to Jed Clothier. They're going to come around the boundary line. Up in front, there's Mark Anderson. Don't worry about where the mark is, Mark. Just get back and kick it. Now he does. It's along the line again, looking for the tall timber. Over the back of the pack it is. Shiloh Smith's going to be back there first. Is he the gunslinger? Lines it up. The boundary umpire reckons out of bounds.
Shiloh Smith showing the size of the fish he caught last week.
He reckons he was in that by that far?
Yeah.
So the ball's got to come back.
Good piece of play by Smith nonetheless.
It was. Got the ball long into that forward line again.
Just so hard to tell from up here whether it's over and out, but because the boundary umpire's in the best spot, Benny.
Well, he's on the spot all right.
In it comes, half forward flank here for Doutta Stars. Andy 14-point lead at the moment. They're trying hard, the Burners, to work their way back into the game, but Mitch Day stands in their way this time. Took a good mark. Kicks high. 2 against 1. Here, Page again. Gee, he's got a safe pair of hands. Took a good grab. Jeremy Page. Showing them how to play the big man's game. Kicks over to the centre wing, no mark taken. That's forced over and out.
Jeremy Page is the best player on the ground for mine at this present stage of the game.
Ooh, okay.
He's been just sensational, I reckon. Willed himself on the footy. Up they go to the front of the pack. Goes through. Just a good tackle laid, but the umpire said he had no prior opportunity, Brett Gordon. Good tackle by Smith. So the umpire throws it into the air once more. They try and push Page out of the way. Smith cops one in the back and wins a free kick. Carey gets one too and wants to fight back. So Smith gets the free kick.
Shiloh Smith with the ball. He's led by example today for Doutta Stars. Sets it up high. Bounces over the back of that pack of players. Craigieburn with the numbers there. But they'll be bundled over the line with the footy as the lady with the pram walks past.
Players won't give away to her. Ball thrown back into play. Page again with the tap out. He could have been in the back. The umpire didn't see or allow that one to go on. So now it's Doutta Stars. Wobble it forward into the forward line. Carey's there. Can he pick it up? Can he get around? He does. One way or the other. In the end, it's rushed through from behind. Oh, it's tough and hard in there.
Got a bit of talent, Carey, I tell you.
Well, it's in the genes.
His uncle's talent.
It's in the genes.
No doubt about that.
So they go to that outer side once more.
Long kick out and a good grab. Beautifully taken on that occasion by Chris McAlane. He's at the true centre half back position, just chips over towards it where he's got Gordon in support.
He's got a lot of kicks this quarter.
Brett Gordon's been good for them today, in my view. A little chip into the centre wing. They're just working their way around, trying to set something up here. Over the top it goes. They're just trying to open something up, the Eagles at the moment. Just another goal and they're right back in it. High kick. They set themselves. And Mitch Day stood down and marked on his chest.
So straight away they play on into the centre of the ground, but Thomas, he's good. He reads the play so well. Gets his quick kick. It's going to be down the field for a late tackle on him.
Luck's a fortune because his kick landed on the chest of a Doutta Stars defender.
It's going to be... I think they'd say Young, isn't it? Kicks the ball long right into the teeth. The goal, up they go. It's going to be front and centre. You need it to be there. As the ball's wrestled forward down there. Across the boundary line, not quite yet. Umpire calls play on. Boundary umpire finally puts his hand in the air. Says, I'll throw it in right beside the behind post.
Can they grab a goal here, the Eagles? They need it. Low trajectory throw in. Oh, Caruso ran into trouble. And Calvarisi tapped it through for a rush behind. They're just working hard to stay in touch at the moment, Craigieburn. You just get the feeling that the floodgates could open. And again, the Stars defence standing firm. Into the centre wing it comes. Loose ball now. Good tackle. What can they do here?
Ball's free towards Cloak. I just picked it like a cherry. Hands the ball over to Jesse Davies. He's got it across to Young and lines them up. Beautiful goal. They're back in town. 8 points the margin. And that was good play. They've been persisting, Craigieburn, persisting, and it's finally paid off for them in that score.
There's a happy crowd for you. Look at that. Enjoying their local footy here at Windy Hill.
Gee, Young's so clean with his feet, isn't he?
Yeah,
great skills.
Stylish player, Josh Young, no doubt about that. No wonder they spoke so highly of him. Gordon did it well with a blind turn out of the middle. Bombs it down in towards the forward line. Can they grab another one here? They can't. They see it over the line and out. But if anyone thought this was going to be a walkover, not so far, Benny.
Not at all. 8 points the margin as the ball's thrown back in. Payne again gets the tap out, gets it to Brett Gordon, who picks up another position in this quarter, sends it to half forward. Desperate stuff. Foot lashed at the footy. They go in hard. A couple of players get pulled over. Hand pass goes. Great tackle. Advantage now played. They're into the forward line. Looking down there for Caruso. How did he pick that out?
If you don't mind. Fantastic grab. David Caruso just stuck out the arm and the ball stuck there.
Yeah, that's fantastic work. He reads the play so well as well.
Well, he's going to be kicking this from probably about 40 out. Can he allow for the breeze like Young did? No, he misread it. Floated away to the right. Another valuable opportunity. Goes begging. That wind just takes it right across each time they kick at that end of the ground.
14 minutes ticking by on the clock in this third quarter. The ball's brought back out of defence. Knock over. Here's Caruso. Chance for him. They missed it up between the two.
Took it.
McIntyre should have had it. Caruso gets hold of footy. One way or the other. Finally gets out. But it took a long time. He broke the tackles though, didn't he?
Yeah, just had it a bit long. Gee, that's just a misunderstanding there. Could have so easily been away. Ross again. He's been good. Bombs long. Good use of the body on that occasion by Tazewski. Can't handle it too cleanly. Finally got a hand pass off to Page. He's under the post. Stealing it there was George. George bombs it in towards centre half forward. And taking the mark was Shiloh Smith. Gee, luck's a fortune, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. I think he thought that he might even pass it off, but in the end, this is probably the best option. Smith, only 25 metres out from goal. 45-degree angle, drops it onto the boot, but he's not listening to us.
Well, the wind causing problems out there with players shooting for goal at both ends of the ground. So, 15 minutes gone, third term. And this is a nip and tuck affair. Craigieburn just continuing to nip at the heels of Doutta Stars, and there's a good mark, but a push out, says the umpire. It's going Big Page's way. Fed off the hand pass, and they're away through Reece Finch to the centre wing.
Another knockout of arms.
Just working it around that side of the ground at the moment, the Eagles.
Keeping it under control. On centre wing, into Brett Gordon. What can he do with this? Sends it long, looking for Cloak. Up he goes, couldn't hold on to that one. In they go, there's Heenan in the bottom of the pack, but it comes out. They're going to go forward through Ramsey, hands it over the top where Ross has it. Long kick to half forward, Smith's in front, who was knocked away from him. He recovers beautifully though, picks it up and tackled. No free kick there, says the umpire. We'll ball it up. Tempo rising a fraction.
Just falling down across half forward the last few minutes, Craigieburn. After so many promising moves, that was a sloppy hand pass in the end from Page, but a high tackle gets them out of trouble. Matt Thomas, he's a terrier. Got the footy, defensive side of the centre circle for Craigieburn. Heads over to the grandstand wing. Good mark to Josh Young.
Look
at that pass. A little bit too low in the end for Cloak. Had to stoop too far, couldn't quite mark it. Chance for Skiberis. His hand pass was too far, but it'll be saved. Good piece of work. High flyers wanted here. Over the back. Here's the chance now. Hand pass came out. Running into a brick wall was Tom Allard. Still a loose footy. High tackle. Craigieburn win the free kick.
There's desperation in there. Doutta Stars wanted to be away. Craigieburn just had to hold it up, and they did. So now it's going to be Heenan to kick the ball round the centre wing. Up they go. Man up in front is Jed Clothier. And takes the mark. So he's looking to move it quickly now. Does so with a good long kick. Smith's down there. It goes through their hands. Needed to be at the back of the pack. Hand pass came out from Georgeski. Goes Smith again. He put the elbow out. They fended them off nicely. Hand pass. The umpire says play on. It's an advantage. Shot at goal is offline. It is heating up.
Oh, I thought he might have nearly been pinged for incorrect disposal then. But he's a talented player, Smith, no doubt about that, and it's on at centre-half forward.
It's going to be a free kick. Ball's going to be brought out there.
And it's going Craigieburn's way. And where's he going? Is it 52, is it?
Is it 50 as well?
Okay. So,
or is it not?
No, it's
They've
going
just got
back.
to find the right player to give the ball to.
Okay. They sort themselves out. Craigieburn rebounding out of defence. Only 9 points in this game at the moment. There's Page. Tried to tap it away, couldn't get his hand to it. Allows the Doutta Stars defence in. Good kick by Mitch Day. He's been more than handy today. Punched away. Bennett couldn't take the footy with him. He'll be tripped, taken high, whatever you like. Wins the free kick at centre-half back.
He was...
Gee, it's an arm wrestle at the moment.
It's just one of those games where it's like a game of chess. So now the ball's kicked long into the breeze. Floated in the end, through hands. Plenty of players around the footy. Caruso gets hold of the footy, ducks and weaves on the ground, knocks it out all the same. Can they get away here, Craigieburn? They do, because Young's good at it. Gets the ball forward. Was looking for Cloak. He gets himself to the front position in the end. He lays the tackle, Jason Cloak. He's looking for the free kick. The umpire, they'll have none of it.
He's appealing to the nearest umpire.
Yeah, whichever one it is.
It's only about 15 metres out from goal. Can they siphon off a goal here? Rugged stuff in there. They eventually force it through for a rush behind. A margin back to just 8 points. Been playing just under 20 minutes now in this third quarter here at Windy Hill. It's a great grand final.
It is a good grand final as the ball's kicked right into the centre of the ground. 2-on-1 contest, but Craigieburn are going to come away with the football. Heenan hand passes it to nobody in particular, intercepting it with Mark Anderson. Douta's away now through the cricket pitch area into the forward line they go. Marking Jewel here, knocking it away. The Craigieburn defence working beautifully through Ben Finch. The crowd yell ball. The umpire says, give it to me.
Gee, a kick off the ground was the
option of the day.
The doctor ordered there. Tried to weave through 3 defenders. It's only a kick away from Doutta Stars' goal here. Just 8 points in it. Crucial time here for Craigieburn. Came out to Tom Allard, screws it back.
He's put it through.
And puts through a more than handy goal for Doutta Stars.
Gee, they're getting around him too. They know the importance of that goal.
Crowd loving it. And that was against the flow of play.
It sure was. And the crowd up there in the stand cheering and chanting the Doutta boys. Back with umpire Daniel Patrick. Up she goes. 21 minutes gone of the third quarter. Can Craigieburn come again? Going with the ball, Jesse Davis. Kick wasn't great, so he keeps tapping it in front, but they're up to it here, Doutas. Can they do it? Calling out loud for the footy. There was Cronin. He's back on the ground. They keep the ball in that half-forward line. Kalaveski's there. Umpire said it's a free kick, incorrect disposal. Going Craigieburn's way.
Yeah, against Ramsey there. So Craigieburn need to get one back here again. Keep the pressure on. McAlane goes sideways, picks out Bennett.
He'd be good, this bloke.
I can't play much with a name like Bennett, surely. Shannon Bennett now. He can play, of course. Into the centre wing he goes. Good mark over there. It's Brett Gordon again. Gee, he's been impressive today for the Eagles. Just goes in short, man, all on his own. What can they do with this? Craigieburn. Calvarisi has... Daniel Nolan has it on his chest. Wheels around. Kicks high. Cloak the target. Tried to draw the free kick. Play on, says the umpire. And they lock it up at centre half forward.
Umpires have paid the free kicks, but they haven't fallen for the 3-card trick of the stage.
No, I think they've been superb.
Ball's thrown into the air again. Cloak does the ruck work, comes down. Chance there for McAtish. Comes around the body, swings it, but the wind's going to hold it up. Oh, nearly a mark on the chest after a wrestle. but it's hit the post. It's through for behind. 8-11 to 10-12. So the ball's in the back pocket position. Should be play on there. He went to hand pass it. Now he's going to get caught. Got to be dropping the ball.
Now he's dropping the ball too.
Free kick's correct.
Good piece of work there by David Caruso. So Caruso decides to have a go at it. It's coming back. Great goal. The Eagles will not lie down.
Well, that was sensational again. They've just toiled. And if they get up for this grand final, the reason they'll get up is because they've just never say die attitude.
So the margin back to 7 points. We've been playing just under 24 minutes now in this third quarter. Little over a quarter of football to go for these two teams in 2015.
7 points the margin. Tap out that time by Barnes. Bounces awkwardly, but taking away is McLaren. He couldn't go right through with the foot in the hand pass. In they go. Getting back on the football. That time was Jed Clothier. Kick off the ground. Gets to Payne. His kick smothered. Oh, it's tough and hard in there. They're all saying, leave it to me. Brett Gordon goes in and tries to get it, and he's held up. No free kick there.
Could they sneak another one and be within a point at three-quarter time?
Oh, it'd be sensational.
Could that happen?
Well, every possibility.
Attacking side of the centre square here for Craigieburn. Big thump away. Makatich will run onto it. Can he take it cleanly? He's got to shrug a couple of pursuers. Gave it over here towards Cox. Coming out with a footy was Davies. Lost it. Vantage paid. Doutta Stars away. Whoa, there's a solid bump laid. But there's a whistle on playback here.
Yeah.
Downfield again, was it?
Yeah, it's going to be down where the ball was. It was a downfield free kick.
Okay, so Aaron Ramsey with the ball virtually in the centre for Doutta Stars.
He's indicating he wants to go long. Where the tall timber down there. At centre half forward, Payne's up. He couldn't take the mark. Comes to the front. Anderson had it. Got a kick in. Bounces awkwardly. Craigieburn defence up to it. They're going to go across the face of goal. They are. Long kick. This will want to be good, and it is. Good mark there. Garrett Heenan got to it, and now quickly onto his boot. Seeing out there for Scott Hamilton.
So Hamilton with the footy. Half-back flank. Outer side of the ground here at Windy Hill. Just chips in short to Gordon. You can see the scores there, just 7 points. Gordon taking his time. That's a decent sort of kick too. No mark taken, spills over the back. They all see it roll over the line for another throw in on that outer side. And the crowd, you can just hear them now saying, which way is this game going to go?
Getting close to three-quarter time. 26 minutes gone in the third quarter. Heenan got a little kick in, but it didn't help Craigieburn because Doutta Stars got the ball out towards that centre wing position. The boundary line's found out there, right near the Bendigo Bank, the Strathmore Bendigo Bank. Sign.
In it comes, centre wing. Big Barnes takes the front position. Page won the tap. But shirking it was Ross, sharking it at least in towards the half-forward line. Good mark taken. Craigieburn working hard to come out of defence. Could be a costly mistake. Handball comes out. Oh, kicks into his own man in the end. They work it towards the line. Well, passage of errors there. Craigieburn getting out of it.
Oh, they were fortunate. You would have thought that Doutta Stars would have scored out of that foray forward. In it comes. The ruckman work it there. Shiloh Smith takes it out of the ruck, tackled. And that's right, he didn't get rid of it properly. And when you take it out of that ruck contest, you have to be very clean. So with the ball is Justin Mell. Goes wide out to that outer side. Can they run and carry it from here? Ben Finch delivers it towards a half forward on that outer side. Daniel Nolan's back there. He goes to the fence. The ball goes to the boundary and it'll be a throw in.
Craigieburn right in this contest here. It's anyone's game. Doutta Stars. Oh, there's a little bit of dash shown. Fantastic stuff. Run through the centre there. High kick. Gee, they move the ball quickly then. No mark taken. Over the back it goes. Tackle laid. It's only 15 metres out from goal. The umpire says, give it to me.
Well, Shannon Bennett was a bit lucky on that occasion. He had the footy, got tackled. So it's only 15 metres out from the goal as the ball's thrown high into the air. They shepherded a quick kick off the ground. That's through the centre. What a great goal that was.
Just trying to pick up who kicked that goal. Could be a vital one in the scheme of things. Was in fact Cade Carey. He's third.
CSNG Signs hope you're enjoying this live broadcast of the 2015 EDFL Final Series. For a winning solution, don't forget to call or visit csng.com.au. CSNG Signs, proud sponsors of the 2015 EDFL Final Series.
Ball's back in the centre and the umpire tosses it into the air. Craigieburn want to go forward again, but it's Doutta Stars up. Hand pass comes to Smith. Can he get around his opponent? He can't. Tackled. They run through. Pressure. Tackling. And now the kick relieves the pressure back to that centre wing position. Caruso's there. Wants to hand it over the top. They got some space here. Brendan Cox delivers it into the big tall timber. It's over their heads.
Chance here for Craigieburn. What can they do? Cloak tried to snaffle it, couldn't do so. Round the body on that occasion from Daniel Nolan was very wide, snuck in for a point. The build-up's been so good so often for Craigieburn and they haven't grabbed their chances.
To think you could be sitting in your lounge room watching a game of local footy like this, or you could be watching on the web from all over the world or all around Australia.
Fantastic stuff.
As the ball is brought back into play, Mitch Day delivers it out to that outer side. The mark taken by Jed Clothier. He's going to play on, gets around his opponent nicely and then delivers long, looking in towards a half-forward flank on that outer side.
Chance here now. They can't keep it in though. But the ball movement is quick from both sides. And the kicking has been long. They haven't played the short fiddly game. It's been a good game of footy to watch. Half 40 for Doutta Stars. Another goal from Doutta Stars would just about break Craigieburn's back, you would think. Can they get an answering one and creep closer? Long kick. Oh, good mark in the end. Clothier again, was it?
Those marks in defence like that.
No, it was in fact Mitch Day. He's been very good back there for the Stars.
He's going to direct the footy into the centre of the ground, but it's three-quarter time. Here at Windy Hill, the scoreboard shows that it's Essendon Doutta Stars 11-12-78, Craigieburn 9-12-66. We've got a ball game. Up to you, Kev.
And Kev's up in the grandstand. Over to you, Kev.
Yeah, thanks, boys. I've got the under-18 premiership players up here. Geez, they're excited. When Essendon Doutta Stars kick a goal, this grandstand goes off, and they had a bit of celebration. They've got their chance. They've got the horns. They are making it happen out here in the stand. Look at that, a premiership cup beside me. And tell you what, they're getting excited. Let's get into it, boys. Let's go right behind the stars. Back to you, fellas.
Good work, Kev. Kev, you notice he goes where the winners are with the Premiership Cup.
Yeah, that's right. He's a front runner, Kev Murphy.
Yeah. So great work up there from Kev Murphy. All the action coming to you. Live from Windy Hill this afternoon, we've got 1 quarter of football left in the Division 1 Grand Final for 2015. And you can see the huddles around the crowds there.
Yeah, big crowd around Doutta Stars. The
crowds around the huddles, I mean, Benny.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in that coffee.
So it's all good stuff here at Windy Hill. The style of play has been a little bit messy and close in and tight, and plenty of pressure on. The skills aren't quite coming out because of the pressure, I suggest. But all the same, look at the scoreboard, and we've got a great last quarter coming up.
My word. I don't think a lot of pundits thought, Doutta Stars would have broken Craigieburn open by now, but the Burners have stuck fat. They've really, really hung in there, and they're in with every chance now of winning this premiership. So, another 30 minutes and we'll know.
Sure will. But you can see the huddles and the Craigieburn huddle, they're very intent on listening to their coach at the present time.
A lot of good players from both sides. Shiloh Smith's been fantastic for Doutta Stars. He's really led by example. And Mitch Day in defence, I thought, has played a great game for them too.
Sean Ross came into it a bit in that quarter, linking it in nicely.
Yep.
And when they had some good forward moves through his ball carry.
Jed Clothier has been good for them. Taken some great grabs, gets out on his own a lot, and he's worked very, very hard for them as well. And Mark Anderson, he's a very, very stylish footballer. Impressed with him. Cade Carey hasn't been in the player all that much, but he's booted 3 goals.
Bit of class.
Just does the right thing when he gets the opportunity. For Craigieburn, they've had some fantastic players. Caruso's been magnificent for them. The 2 Cloaks, of course, and Brett Gordon. He's just knocked up getting the footy.
Yeah, some of the other smaller players getting into it a bit in that quarter. Garrett Heenan worked well, and they just have to. They just probably need a few more to lift a little bit more. They need a little bit more run and carry, and they've got to try and run the legs off their Doutta Star opponents. Whether they can do that or not, going to be some tired boys at the end of the game, but hopefully they can.
Well, they've got the players to do it. Matt Thomas and Josh Young. They're the players that can step up in this final quarter, and of course we've mentioned Jeremy Page in the ruck. He's just been sensational for them. So these are the players that are going to have to step up if Craigieburn are to grab back the lead and march onto a premiership. But we'll know very, very shortly, because the final quarter about to get underway here at Windy Hill. And it's just a 2-goal ball game. So 2 quick goals, and who knows, Benny?
Yeah, the score
could have a nail biter.
Yeah, that's true. The scoreline 11-12-78 to 9-12-66. So it's just the 2 goals for the difference between the 2 teams at the present time. Just waiting again for spectators to get off the ground. There's only a couple of short, small gates where everyone's got to file through, and it's not easy to get away straight after that either.
So umpire Daniel Patrick.
He opened the game.
He did.
And he's going to finish the last quarter. Siren sounds. It's the last quarter of the Division 1 EDFL Grand Final, and the ball thrown into the air, and they've gone nowhere. Up she goes once more. Tap down. Young gets his boot to the footy and sees it forward for the Eagles.
Cloak has 2 goes at it. He's claimed the mark, and the umpires paid it. This could be just the start they needed. Jason Cloak, he's kicked 4 goals already for the Eagles. Seagulls everywhere here at Windy Hill, but it's the Eagles that the supporters want to see fly high, at least half the supporters anyway.
Just got to wonder if he's gone to school on his last kick that took it to the left.
Straight through the middle. Craigieburn back to within a goal off the boot of Jason Cloak. 5 goals to the big fella.
He's certainly the focal point there at centre-half forward. Cameron's the one that's kicked all the goals throughout the season. 79 up to date.
Haven't cited other members of the Cloak family here today, Benny.
They'll be here, don't worry about that. The whole tribe of them. Up she goes once more in the centre. Page gets the tap out, but look at Smith run through. He knows the grand final's on, but he's got run down. Just when he was eyeing the kick well into the forward line. Thomas with the footy. Just a little toe poke. It goes just the 15 metres required. Still on centre wing. Not much movement happening in that forward line for Craigieburn. Doesn't need to be. Jason Cloak goes to that hard outer side and takes the mark. Wants to wield around and get it down to Cameron as quick as he can. Sets him up. He's in front. Tries to juggle it. Off the pack. Ball's knocked on.
Oh, high tackle there. Advantage paid. Doutta Stars away now. 1 goal the difference. There's the kick in towards centre wing. Spills over the back. Eagles with the numbers. Hand pass coming out, but that'll put him under pressure. Young was quick enough to get it off. Oh, they slip. Vital slip in the end because it's an easy mark.
Yeah,
taken back here by Prestia.
Kicks the ball in towards half forward again. They're all saying, leave it for me. Page is back there, does the roving, hands it off. Oh, Shannon Bennett ends up with the footy after knocking his opponent. The hand pass comes to Thomas. He's quick to foot. Gets it towards the centre wing position. Oh, good mark taken there by Prestia. Oh, gets it across to Prestia. It came from Marcus Galveski in towards half forward.
Big punch away, but lurking was Anderson, the ever dangerous Anderson. His kicks high. Right up into the teeth of goal, fisted away, could possibly have marked that, could come unstuck. It's at centre half forward, round on the left foot, and that's straight through the middle off the boot of Tom Allard. He's kicked a couple of beauties for the Stars today, and he's got them at vital times, Benny.
Back out to 2 goals.
I tell you what, this is when all those nights of training, all those late nights in the wind and the rain and the cold, all those endless sprints, this is when they come to the fore, because it'll be the fittest that wins today.
The gut-wrenching work as the ball's back in the centre, and Big Page gets another knockdown. Heenan's going to run onto it. Can he grab it away? They get the hold of the footy. Tackle was laid. Umpire said he had no prior opportunity, and I agree with him.
Up it goes. Just 2 goals the difference. 2 straight kicks. They'll try and lock it up a little bit now, the Stars. Plenty of run left in the legs of both sides yet. They've been terrific today. Came to Thomas. Thomas boots long. Cloak on the lead. Grabs it. Round the body. Bounces awkwardly. Phil Davies and the Doutta Stars just thump it away for a boundary throw in. In the danger zone here.
It's a tight
for the
pocket.
Stars. Craigieburn with the chance.
Boundary umpire takes up his position and heaves it in over his head. It's a short one all the same. Barnes got the tap out towards Smith. He picks up the footy, evades one opponent. Hand pass goes up in the air. Back there's Brett Gordon who took it away. Comes out to Heenan. Heenan's left foot sees it in towards the forward line there. Nobody at home there for the Eagles as it bounces and bounces across the boundary line. That's exactly where they needed it to go after that kick, because otherwise it would have been down the other end of the ground.
So still in the forward line here for Craigieburn. Can they conjure a goal? Big Cloak in the ruck. Hooked it over the back. Young did it well. Oh!
Tackling.
Dispossessed with a magnificent tackle. They win the footy for the Doutta Stars. Awkward bounce. Look at that, 5 stars to 1 Craigieburn player. And they'll come out with it through Anderson. Got his kick in the end, and all on his own is Mitch Jensen. Takes the mark, has all the time in the world. And he goes in towards the half-forward line. Chance there now for Naboo. Into the pocket.
Oh,
good grab down there. Doing it beautifully now, the Stars. The kick comes in towards the big fella Kite, and eventually is rushed through for a behind. Could be a handy point in the end, Benny. Who knows?
Especially this time out. We've only gone 6 minutes of this final quarter in the Essendon and District Football League's Division 1 Premiership game as the ball's brought back out of play. Payne takes another mark. Hands it off straight away. Got to get some run and carry happening here. Cloak, Jason, runs in towards the half-forward line, but it's over the top of Thomas and taken away by Doutta Stars. They have the footy. Aaron Ramsey with it in the centre of the ground. Looks across and sees Brendan George by himself. Hands the ball off. They'll give it to Smith. He has nearly took too much time.
Something's happened down here.
Yeah. Aaron Kite interfered with before the ball got anywhere near him, and he's going to line up for a shot at goal. Can't afford that.
Could be very, very costly.
Aaron Kite not taking a lot of time, or taking plenty of time, not worrying about time.
Well, time on the Stars side, of course. It's an interesting tattoo he's got. No, so it's a bandage. Aaron Kite. Kicking to put the Stars further ahead. Comes in. Didn't work out all that well on the end point only.
What sort of kick was that? Wobbled off the boot. So Craigieburn now to bring the ball back into play. Just a little one. This could be dangerous. Oh, fortunate. Jesse Davies ends up with the footy. And now delivers it out, looking for Ben Finch. He fumbled it.
Oh,
he's going to be tackled. They could get away here. Right towards the boundary line. Still in play now. It's off. And over the boundary line.
They got to be quick and clean, the Eagles, to be have a chance now, you'd think. Half forward flank here for Doutta Stars. Starting to tighten the screws on Craigieburn. Little hand pass came out and they're out of trouble momentarily. Once again with the numbers. All bounces. Oh, there's that man Caruso again. Did it beautifully. Fed off the hand pass. Gives them a chance here. Cloak the target. Oh, good mark. Mitch Day.
Not paid.
Not paid. Runs out of the out of bounds with the footy. Boundary umpire right on the spot. It'll be thrown in at half forward. There's a little bit of how's your father happening. But nothing serious. Well, it's Father's Day.
Ball's thrown back into play. It's a short one. Cloak gets the tap out. Went to the opposition. However, that could be trouble. Mitch Day tried to go too far, but he's going to pay the free kick for the fend off into the face. And Thomas, who's been good all day, has the footy in his hands. Matty Thomas.
Well, this is one of the blokes we said that could rebound Craigieburn to victory. Blokes like him and Josh Young, they're the ones they need. Thomas, tricky kick with this breeze. Puts it on its way, just misses to the left. Just don't seem to be allowing for that very strong breeze that takes the ball from right to left of our screen. So Doutta Stars just bring the ball back into play, and that busy player Skiberis has it again.
So Skiberis here in the back pocket position. Asked to play on. Wobbles the ball back towards half back. Smith up over the top. Took it on his chest. His confidence and ability for you. Kicks the ball. Looking there for Risotto with the footy to centre wing to Anderson. Anderson now. He'll drive it long, looking for Kite, pushing and shoving back there. They both spoil each other. Getting back on Stavesky, hands it high to Bennett.
Well, I've got to say, Craigieburn are starting to look a little weary to me. They're just starting to fumble and look a little bit tired. And they've had a harder run up to this game, so that may well be the reason. Got the numbers here at the moment. Ooh. Whoa, cop one high. Good mark to Anderson. Doutta Stars.
Oh, he's going to pay the 50.
50. Well, was he around off the mark?
Well, he went, and the umpire should have called it and didn't call it.
I thought once you ran 50. Around, you were off.
Yeah, but the umpire has to call the play on, otherwise you've got a protected area.
Okay. So Mark Anderson with the ball for Doutta Stars.
Just about back him in here.
And he's going to kick it long too. Good long kick. That will hurt. Stars go further ahead.
Another Strathmore Community Bank story.
Something we've been able to do over the last 2.5 years is provide 17 defibrillators back to local sporting clubs and community groups.
The Strathmore Community Bank is a great asset to the Glenroy Football Club. At first they donate one of the major things that every club needs is a defibrillator.
The Strathmore Community Branch is very proud to be a strong supporter of local football around the Essendon district area.
1.5 minutes of this final quarter. Ball's down. You'd think that Craigieburn have to get some goals on the scoreboard. Best way to do it is like that, kicking it long into the forward line. Mitch Day takes the mark though. Repels one more attack. Gets across to Brer Clonan. He's going to play on straight away out towards that other wing. Cross the ground they go, but a good mark that holds them up.
So Lockie Ronaldson with the ball now for Doutta Stars.
Oh, he nearly
handballed it to the opposition.
Mine.
They would have said thank you very much. Big, long kick deep into attack. Off hands. Good piece of work. This could nearly bounce through. Bouncing. It's bounced through for a magnificent goal. Doutta Stars can do no wrong now. Great piece of work there from Kite.
And the Doutta Stars supporters all patting each other on the back now. They've got to keep the pressure on, though, all the same, because Craigieburn will want to try and come back again. There is time. It's only 12 minutes gone of this final quarter.
Yeah, you just think the momentum has swung completely Doutta Stars' way now, though.
Payne's up and it comes away to Gordon. His left foot kick sees it long into that forward line. But the defence working brilliantly over there. Marcus calls the Resi kicks the ball down that line on that outer side. Bounces awkwardly. They've got to get back onto it. Ben Finch is there, picks it up, but it's out of bounds for a throw-in.
So the margin out to 25 points now. Hard work from here for Craigieburn. Time if they're good enough, but gee, nearly 13 and a half minutes gone. Page tapped it down to the front. Heenan, he's worked hard today. Slammed it onto his foot and kicked it out on the full.
Reckon that's gone into the bowling club. Over there.
The strain starting to show on the Craigieburn players now. They just don't look as clean and crisp with the footy. Doutta Stars gaining the upper hand, and well, I'd rather be in their position than Craigieburns at this stage of the final quarter.
Mark Anderson just took the football off the emergency umpire and just kicked it 65 metres with a torpedo.
Ah, good to see. More of it, Benny, more of it.
Too right.
But we've seen good kicking today, despite the swirling breeze out there. I think the players have done a fantastic job.
Yes, Jed Clothier now kicking the ball towards half forward there, but good mark up in front was Payne. Hands off the football Page, hands the ball off, gets it across, and it's going to be Brenton Cox that got it forward. But that man Anderson, he's got some class. He reads it beautifully. Now the drop punt. Doesn't go quite as long as his torps, but long into that forward line. Bounces to Bennett. His quick kick sees it forward. What are they going to do here? Keep running the ball, giving it to Young. He's looking over there for Reece Finch. He's got to get back onto it. He does. Kicks the ball long towards half forward. Sees it to touch. The ball's out of bounds to be thrown in. Well, what a great game of football to be seen in your lounge room at home.
Well, some tired players out there too, no doubt about that, but they're still giving everything halfway through this last quarter. Why not? It's a grand final. No next week. Whoa. They're going in hard. High tackle, says the umpire. Craigieburn free kick. Is it Thomas, is it?
Yep.
Matty Thomas, he's tried his heart out today. I tell you what, a goal here would still give them some hope.
I reckon that he just about put this one through.
Hasn't kicked one as yet.
25 metres out. Hopefully he's schooled on the last kick. He has. He's put a goal on the board for the Eagles. They desperately needed that.
Well, they need a few more quick ones like that. And they're back in town.
Well, he got time. There's plenty of time still left in the game, as long as they can get it forward quickly.
Couple of big kicks, couple of big cloak marks, and we've got a game again. Who knows? The action coming to you live on Channel 31, live and local footy at its best. As they burst their way through.
Thomas copes a high one.
And it's going to be a free kick again to that man who kicked the last goal. Matty Thomas runs around his opponent, kicks high. Look at the wind, hold that footy up. It's at centre half forward. Chance here off the left boot of Chris McAlane. Bounces, wrong side of the post. Oh. Could have gone anywhere, went through for a point in the end.
So the ball to be brought back into play. Doutta Stars using the short game. sees it with Sean Ross, plays on straight away. This is going to be dangerous here for Craigieburn. The mark taken by Skibaris, kicking the ball into that forward pocket. Anderson's back there. Can he keep it in? He can't. So it'll be thrown in.
Three straight kicks, Benny. 3 straight kicks. Not out of the question, but gee. Doutta Stars with the momentum. Time starting to run out for them. 17.5 gone. Barnes got a little scrubby kick along the ground. Shiloh's missed there. He's been good. Slams it onto his foot. Tapped away. Knocked away by the Craigieburn defence. It'll be thrown in pretty close to the behind post.
So can they do something here? It's right deep in the Douta's forward line here. Pick it up, the ball up is Blair Cronin. Hits a post, does it? Or through for behind. Hit the post for the behind.
Once again, could be a valuable point.
Yeah, so now it's going to be straight down the centre. Long kick. Payne got pushed out. Hands in his back. Good free kick by the umpire who is adjacent to the contest. The best place to be to see those.
So Craigieburn free kick. Page just handed it over to Gordon. Gordon chip over to that outer side, but gee, an errant kick in the end. Gorgeski had no chance of getting there. That'll be thrown in over on the outer side. 18.5 gone in the last quarter of the grand final. And Doutta Stars with a very handy 19-point lead.
In she comes. Over the back it goes, and quick kick forward. That was good by Page. But Doutta Stars up to it at the present time. They're working like a team. And it'll be another ball up. Not far from the centre of the ground. Long knock goes forward there. And Doutta Stars working brilliantly back on that back line. Kalavreski kicks the ball back towards that centre wing position, but it's across the boundary line once more, and they'll be happy to see the time going down on the clock.
It's been a tough, hard hitting game of football, Benny, but clean. Both sides are playing the footy. It's been a good, keen contest. The umpires have contributed to that as well. Craigieburn now, what can they do? It's that cloak way up the ground there. Kicks in towards centre half forward. Coming out was Nolan. Round onto the right foot. Kicks wide. Waiting underneath it there was Laffin. The hand pass came out to Caruso. What can he do with it? He's kicking towards goal. Finds only Doutta Stars defenders. Mitch Day says thanks very much. Takes the mark. Chips it over to the busy Clothier.
He plays on straight away. They got some runners here through centre wing. Little hand pass goes towards Scribblers. Long kick into the forward line. Punch from behind the defenders there. Umpires allowing it to go on. Hand pass. That could have been in the back. Umpire saw it that way as well. Want to get it moving quickly now. They do so. A quick kick goes across the ground. Chris McArlen has the footy there at half back. Nothing happening for them.
So McAlane now has a bit of a run. Kicks high. Gee, this is anyone wants to mark it can. Spill over the back. Big Barnes there. Got it. A little nudge from behind as he kicked it. Turns around and glared at his opponent. Craigieburn with the mark. McAlane again. What's he going to do? Goes wide to the centre wing to a 2-1 contest. They were looking for Josh Young. He can run onto it now, but he's got 2 or 3 pursuing him. He can't handle it cleanly. Sees it over the line and out. And the Doutta Stars supporters getting stuck into him.
Yeah, it's only about the first time that he has mishandled the footy. He's been clean the rest of the day. In front of the Doutta Stars box, the ball's thrown back into play. Over the back it goes. Now it's Heenan with the footy going long into that forward line. He's looking down there for Jesse Davies, but he can't find him. The defence working well. Day has it taken to the ground. It'll be a ball up. Precious seconds ticking away. 21 minutes gone of this final quarter.
Forward pocket here for Craigieburn. They need a quick goal and a few more quick ones to be back in this contest. They won't get it this time because it's a Doutta Stars free kick. And they're taking all the time there is. Mitch Day with the footy. He's been so good back there today for the Stars. He's been ultra reliable. There's his kick in towards half-back. Oh, gee, Cloak couldn't take the mark. Ball flicks out. Davies is there. Couldn't take it with him. Quick hands. Got it over towards Hamilton. Screws it back front and centre. What can they do here? The defence is just relentless. And Doutta Stars again, mopping up. High kick out to the defensive 50. Easy mark in the end, and they're just slowing things down.
Anderson's kick now sees it to the centre wing, close to the boundary line. A kick off the ground, sees it forward for the Eagles, but the boundary line's there, and it will be a throw in. Very close to our commentary position here. It's on centre wing. 22.5 minutes gone of the final quarter as the ball comes back into play. A little nudge out by Barnes. Sees it to Aaron Ramsey. His hand pass releases, looking for Anderson. He lays the tackle in the end, but Young has it, delivers it forward, and it's going to be down the ground free kick, is it?
I knew I spoke too soon.
You did. But the umpires are in control here.
Anderson is down.
What's going to happen
Trainer's
here?
Just getting the players out of it. Good work.
Yeah, it's going to be a report. A yellow card. He's off the ground.
Well,
there, a player down. That's what they could have done without.
That makes your chances almost impossible. That was McAlane ordered off the field.
And the free kick paid here. Umpire Michael McGuinness taking all the details down, putting it in his pad. In the back pocket it goes. So Mark Anderson with the footy goes wide into the centre of the ground. The mark dropped on that occasion by Ronaldson, so sees Craigieburn forward. Cloak goes, couldn't take the mark, but recovers. Around his body it goes. It's a high kick. It's going to bounce. It bounces awkwardly. Kick off the ground, was it? No. Umpire says touched.
Gee, that was a big effort from Laffin down there. I thought the umpire signalled the point while they were still trying to kick the footy. As I say, Mitch Day just in no hurry at all. 3 straight kicks the margin now, but time the enemy for Craigieburn. 24.5 minutes gone in this final quarter. Doutta Stars with one hand firmly around the Premiership Cup as Peter Natalianis marks at centre half back. Brings play over to the grandstand flank, and there's nearly a great mark by Allard. Couldn't quite complete it. Handed to Gordon, put him in the hot spot. Gordon's little kick goes into no man's land. Jensen couldn't take it with him. Quick hands from Ramsey, but stolen by Davies. Did it well, got it back to Gordon, who fumbles. Some tired players out there, and Ross says thanks very much. Sprints away with a footy.
Puts it in towards half forward. They got the numbers here. Aaron Kite's back there, makes the shepherd there for Carey. Carey to Kite. Kite goes over the top, picking the footy up. Jake Brown lines up the goals, but he's offline. Don't think it'll matter though. So Craigieburn wanting to bring the ball in quickly, and they see it out to Shannon Bennett, who's by himself out there. Got to deliver perfectly here. Does so to Young. Josh Young. Defensive side of centre wing, drops the little one in. They've got some run and carry going here now, have they? Alex Oyuzu Miller in towards that half far forward line, but it's going to be repelled. They're doing it brilliantly here. Jed Clothier taking 2 bounds. Easy as you like, long delivery. Finds it to Carey. They're doing it well now. It's all over.
So Cade Carey with the ball, only about 20 metres out, 45-degree angle. He's already kicked 3 goals. And this is just the icing on the cake now for Doutta Stars. Comes in, all the time in the world. Puts it on its way, and it's all over Red Rover here at Windy Hill. Doutta Stars march to a 25-point lead, and they're already starting to celebrate, you'd think. Their supporters in the grandstand certainly are, no doubt about that.
Yeah, they are. They're the boys up the back of the stand making plenty of noise, and you can bet that their teammates down there on the ground loving every minute of it.
Craigieburns' effort has been a brave one, absolutely no doubt about that, but they've just tired, I think, in this last quarter, and Doutta Stars taking over.
Young with the football now. He's locked up in the tackle. It's 15-16, 106 to 11-15, 81. As the ball's thrown into the air once more in the centre of the ground, and Shiloh Smith comes away with the footy. His hand pass went up in the air, and it gives Craigieburn a chance to go forward once more. But chipping in nicely there was George Nabu. He goes wide out there. He's getting plenty of kicks. Jed Clothier long to the forward line, the mark taken out there, and they'll go forward once more, Doutta Stars.
Yeah, Jake Brown just stumbling there. As I say, plenty of tired boys out there. They've given everything today. Shiloh Smith up in front couldn't take the mark. Hand pass came out towards Scott Hamilton. He fed off the hand pass in turn, and they run the ball around that Bowles Green wing. And a good mark there. Good mark there to Cloak. Hand pass coming back into the middle.
Little hand pass comes out, and they still have the footy there. Brett Gordon with it. Goes long.
Whoa! Cloak went high and early.
And got the free kick for a push in the back.
Well, he's done his bit today. He's kicked 5 goals, Jason Cloak, Benny, but they just haven't had enough winners, especially up forward.
Well, he's led by example, hasn't he? And he's kicked pretty truly. Comes in. Puts the ball on its way. There's not number 6. It's through from behind.
Well, the Seagulls are circling. As far as Craigieburn's concerned, they may as well be buzzards. There's the kick out. Right into the middle of the ground. Copybook stuff. They're away now. Skibberus, 1 bounce, 2 bounces. Runs through the middle. It is, in fact, Mitch Jensen. Did it well into centre half forward. And it's an easy mark here. Doutta Stars just, as I say, putting the icing on the cake now in the final stages of this 2015 Grand Final.
Don't you hate it when you... Siren sounds for the end of the game. The umpires haven't signalled it as yet.
Well, they've all run out onto the ground, but the game isn't officially over.
No, because the umpire hasn't blown the whistle to say that it's the end of the game either. He's allowed to have his kick.
So he's having his kick down there at centre half forward, and he'll come in and put it on its way. Sneaks through for a point, but it's all over here at Windy Hill. Doutta Stars, premiers for 2015, and they've done a great job.
The Stars will be shining tonight, certainly in Essendon, the way that Doutta Stars won that premiership.
Just had too many winners in the end, Benny. Good players all around the ground, but they were able to finish it up forward with players like Cade Carey, who booted 4 goals, but it came from further afield too. Skibberus was fantastic. Their defence was great.
Mitch Day was sensational, wasn't he? Along with Jed Clothier. Like, they just teamed so well. That was probably the difference between the two teams, that the teamwork that the Stars displayed. They helped each other out when the tough times were there. They helped each other out and get through that pointy end, and they've done a great job of winning this premiership.
Well led by Shiloh Smith too. I thought he was fantastic all day, and players like Mark Anderson, quality players. They had Aaron Kite do a couple of cameos up forward for them. He was there when they needed him, and just a bit of height around the ground with people like Barnes as well. Sean Ross was fantastic through half back for them all day, I thought, and just too many good players in the end.
Even Blair Cronin, he was terrific until he got sent off, but when he came back on the game, again had an influence.
Yeah, Jed Clothier was great, just kept getting the footy, as we said earlier, so often got out on his own. Tom Allard weighed in with 3 handy goals. He was good for them. Craigieburn, you've got a feel for them. It was a gutsy, brave performance by them, but They just didn't have the class in the end when it mattered. Ran out of legs a little bit. They've had a tough campaign, but had some great players. Jason Clark did his job up forward, as we said, kicked 5 goals. Josh Young was great for them. He booted 3. And they had good players around the ground, like Brett Gordon. I thought he was great for them all day.
And I thought the ruck with Jeremy Page, I reckon he won the ruck contest. So I thought that he just worked himself all around the ground. When they got so many big men, for him to shine like that, I thought that his performance was terrific.
And David Caruso, what a great player he was. Probably among their best, I thought. Real nuggety, in and under player. Kept getting the hard footy, kept giving the opportunity of getting the ball out into the open, and I was very, very impressed with his game. They had a lot of other players that probably came in and out of the game a little bit and just didn't have as many good four-quarter players as Doutta Stars. We'll be back with more of the aftermatch colour here at Windy Hill shortly. Welcome back to Windy Hill. Doutta Stars celebrating the winning of the 2015 Premiership. Kev Murphy's down there amongst all the celebrating fans. Down to you, Kev.
Well, Dean, I touched on it earlier in the day. This play is a space for your Windy Hill, but it means something even more today.
Yeah, it's pretty emotional. We've worked hard for 30 years, and it's us against the world, and everyone and shit to go against us this year, from Masada, the Glenroy saga, dished up, umpiring, everyone wants us to fail, you know.
You've a premiership at the highest level, coaching, even at local level. Does it mean a little bit more when you're responsible for so many young men?
Yeah,
just
just
support staff.
Having a look.
At least you watch, you know, the men grow and winning. It's winning when you play.
The start of the year, what you had planned in your wildest dreams? Would you thought you'd be standing here on the last Saturday of the season, premiers?
We did, and that was the reason we get out of bed. We put a list together that could win it, and we've done it, and everything's worked clockwork. So we come here for one reason. We come here to win it, and look out A grade.
Well, your performance today was sensational. Go down and support and congratulate the players. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, mate.
Kev Murphy there with Dean Wallace. So the audio breaking up a little bit there. Apologies for that, but windy conditions and big crowds causing a few problems. But great work there by Kevin. Congratulations to Dean Wallace and the Doutta Stars Football Club. Now the presentations are starting to take place down there. Kevin Donnelly doing a great job there, emceeing. And our mate Brownie on the stand there, Peter Brown, with EDFL President Brett Scott. So great effort by the Stars in the end, no doubt about that. And I think they're probably congratulating the umpires there, and I thought they were superb.
Yeah, they did a great job, and they kept the game as it was. We commented how it may have got out of hand, but they didn't allow it to, because they paid the obvious free kicks. They looked after the ball player, and that's all you can expect.
Well, there were no howlers either, that I can recall.
No, there wasn't anything that was ridiculous.
So Shiloh Smith, the inspirational skipper for Doutta Stars, receiving his premiership medallion from Peter Brown, and I tell you what, he led from the front, no doubt about that.
He's a happy man.
Okay, to start the presentation of the premiership medallions, first up, number 2, Mitch Day.
Yeah, played a great game. I thought he was just so sturdy in defence for them.
Yeah, he just rocket Gibraltar in that defensive
Number 4,
half.
Sean Ross.
Another ball carrier that played a great game.
Very classy footballer. I enjoyed his game and the way he played it.
Number 5, Aaron Ramsey.
Came in and out of the game a little bit, but
Yes.
Certainly when he was needed, was able to link it in.
Memorable day for these blokes. For many of them, might be the only premiership they ever win.
Very true. There's a lot of good
Number
footballers.
6, Cade Carey.
Nephew of the great Wayne Carey, of course, and showed the genes were well and truly alive there today. Did some very skillful things.
Yes,
Number 7.
they had to cover him, didn't they? They needed to keep him intact. They did that, but he was a good player all the same.
Didn't have a weak link, really, the Stars.
Prestia in the defensive half, another good player that they worked so
Number
well
9,
in that back line.
Marcus Calvarisi.
So they're pretty lucky here, Benny. They get not only do they get a fantastic medal they can keep the rest of their life, they get a miniature Premiership Cup as well.
Yeah, it just looks like about the size of the Ashes Cup, doesn't it?
We don't talk about that.
It's in the wrong hands.
We don't talk about the Ashes at the moment. We're talking about the great effort by Doutta Stars today. They were superb. Blair Cronin.
Go to the centre of the...
Didn't he try his heart out, especially early? Set them up a bit.
Copped a send-off at one stage, but I don't think it's troubling him too much just at the moment.
No.
Says you get a copy? Can you tell them I'll get the president and I'll get closer to the fence?
So, some very, very proud players up there at the moment in the Doutta Stars colours. They've been, you might have heard their president say, they've been in existence since 1948, just after the Second World War, and formed mainly by returned servicemen.
Yeah, because this is the sort of thing you need from your community. You can imagine coming back out of the war and just being able to be with mates.
So Mark Bracito getting his medallion and cup.
He was playing up forward and made the most of his opportunities. Wasn't able to kick a goal though today.
As the chopper buzzes overhead again.
Yeah, played sensational footy, didn't he?
I thought he was terrific for them, Nathan Skiberis.
Especially early in the game.
Yeah.
Just kept going, didn't he?
Yeah, he's just denied them time and time again.
George Nabu.
And I've got Bruce with me. Bruce, Premiers, how good's this?
It's fantastic, mate. We're back in the Premier League, so beautiful.
And it's been a big day for the club because the 18s got up, the seniors got up. The reserve's a bit unlucky, but this is the one you want, isn't it?
Certainly with the one we wanted, so we're very happy.
Dean Wallace, he spoke with such passion. This means a lot to him, this premiership.
Oh, it certainly does. It means a lot to the club, the members, supporters, sponsors, a whole lot.
A lot of disappointed people in the Essendon District Footy League because you're a club that loves to be hated, but that probably just makes it even more sweeter, doesn't it?
No, we'll suck it up.
Good on
winners are grinners.
Good on you, Bruce. Can't enjoy it. Back to you, boys.
Thanks, Kev. Thanks, Bruce. Bruce running the president of the Doutta Stars Football Club, and yeah, they're sort of in many ways like the Collingwood of the EDFL.
Well, they've won,
one of them.
They've won more premierships than any other club in the EDFL, and that's why they are hated, as Kev put it. And as Bruce said, they love being hated and like that.
I think they've won 19 premierships.
This is 20,
cups.
I think.
20. This
Today's
is 20. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They've won 19 before today, as Bruce was telling us on earlier on the day. So, been a very, very successful club, no doubt about that.
32, Brendan George.
It always makes me laugh, Benny. The sponsors go to a lot of time and effort and money to put their caps on the heads of the premiership players, so they turn it round. Yeah, you can't read it.
Well, James Barnes, he had a lot of big, tall opposition to toil against today and sort of matched it with them, I thought.
Yes. You can see his old man in that.
Mitch Jensen.
Did some very handy things too, didn't he, Mitch Jensen, I thought?
He sure did.
Number 77, Peter Talianis.
The player that could have still played in under-18 footy out on the ground today, and he held his own.
Yes, one of their under-18s or under-19s. He did a very serviceable job, I thought. Only a young boy, as you can see. What a great day for him.
Stephen Smith.
So now the officials and the
blokes that make the club tick, the volunteers, Dax.
Yep.
They deserve this, and don't they feel good about it all too?
It's their turn to get recognised.
The President, Bruce Runting.
So he's a very proud man at the moment.
All that hard work behind the scenes, all worthwhile today.
And what I liked about what he said, Benny, great to get back into the top division.
Yep.
I like clubs that aspire to that, not those who are comfortable in the lower divisions and, we don't want to go any higher.
And the architect of it all, it's Dean Wallace, he's brought a lot of professionalism to Doutta Stars. This is his first year of coaching the Doutas.
And as you say, spoke with passion about, or as Kev said, spoke with passion about the club.
The captain, Shiloh Smith.
But a disappointing day for the Burners.
Peter Brown from the Strathmore Community Bank and Brett Scott, the President of the Essendon District Football League, will present the cup and the flag to the coach Dean Wallace and the captain Shiloh Smith. Congratulations.
Does it get any better than this? Lifting the cup high above and the whole team getting on board. Brownie can't get out of there quick enough. And I don't blame him because he'll get a shower very shortly. Can't see it in shot, but the Craigieburn.
5 o'clock. No, we're going to the end of the presentation. In the bar, mate. So
There it is. Pennant being hoisted. Their season's complete. Disappointed but very brave and gallant Craigieburn team leaving the field. And I tell you what, they lost no friends here today, Benny. They were great.
They were fantastic. They did a great job. So now for the players to celebrate that premiership win.
So well done to them. And, well, I tell you what, it's been a great day for Doutta Stars, but also a great day for local footy because we really appreciate the time and effort put in today by the crew at C31 who've been here since virtually daybreak setting up to make sure that this all happened an historic day. So well done to the crew at C31.
You did right because they're all volunteers as well in this production. They've not done local footy live before, and to be able to bring it to everybody in their lounge rooms and even further afield around the world by the web and all parts of Australia, I just think it was sensational, and they've done a great job. They'll learn from today, and we'll be back next week to make it bigger and better next week.
Well, it was a first for all of us, and we had teething problems in various areas, but by gee, didn't they stick to the task and brought 3 hours of local footy to the viewers. And the feedback that we've had out and about when they learned of this from local footy people, not just the Essendon District Footy League, but leagues right around Victoria, has been absolutely fantastic.
Well, it has, because there's a lot of competitions that we get to, and yesterday I was at 3 different competitions, and they all wished that they could have a live game brought to their from highlighting their grand final.
Well, there's another one next Saturday right here from Windy Hill, the Premier Division Grand Final in the Essendon District Football League, and it's Aberfeldy taking on Greenvale. That will be an absolute corker. Aberfeldy going for its first premiership in 41 years. So that really is going to be a sensational day, and we'll be back with all of the action live. And our thanks to everybody involved today, to the fantastic crew, to Shane, our production manager, to Kelly, everybody else who did all the work, Kev, who did a fantastic job down there, and heavily assisted by Terry. And Benny, thank you. Thanks to everybody involved. We look forward to your company again next Saturday on C31 Sport.
Today's C31 Sport live broadcast of the 2015 Division 1 Essendon District Football League Grand Final was proudly brought to you by the Strathmore Community Bank, 337 Napier Street, Strathmore, and CS&G Signs, 37 Sages Road, Glenroy.